Lounge Radio. With your hosts, Dark Sakura, Sky, and Loki.
This week, Nintendo News continues as one highly anticipated title gets a release date. Trademark news involving the creators of Candy Crush Saga continues with a recent accusation of intellectual property theft. If it's not one game, it's another. All this and more on the show where every gamer has a voice.
Orange Lounge Radio.
Hello, my friends out there on the internet, and welcome back to another week of the show where every gamer has a voice. It is Orange Lounge Radio with this episode number 540 for February the 16th, 2014. My name is Rob Roberts, here with you over the next few hours to talk about video games and video gaming, the gamer culture, gamer lifestyle with my co-hosts. Here in studio with me, as always, say hello to Dark Sakura or Jamie Summers.
Sup, bitches.
Hey, how you doing?
That's going to be my thing now. I'm just going to do sup, bitches.
I think so. So I was admiring your shirt earlier because you have this really rad shirt. And I know it's a radio show, so it's like, hey, everybody, look at Jamie.
I'll put a picture up.
But I'll describe it. It's basically like an old school NES cover, specifically like Excite Bike. You know, they all had but it's Pee Wee Herman riding his bicycle. And it says Adventure Bike. I love it. And it's from the Loner Rebel series.
Yeah.
I loved Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
There was another one over
movie.
here.
Yeah.
It was, I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Infinity. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Knock it off, cut it out.
I love it. So instead of Nintendo, it says Infinity.
Instead of the
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again.
No
it's
way.
So flipping
Stop
good.
it. Cut it out.
But you said that shirt's no longer available, so
I don't remember where Dan got it from, but it was like one of those one-day sale things. I mean, it could come up again. I don't know, but they do like a different. It's almost like shirt.woot, except they don't bring them back. That you can pay $5 more and order them later. So
here's a random question. Oh, go ahead.
One thing,
Yeah.
It's fun that I work in a place with like mostly dudes, and they're like looking at my boobs to see Pee Wee Herman, and I'm like, I feel uncomfortable now. I'm going to go in my cubicle and hug my weighted companion cube until I feel better.
Here's my random question, and I'll introduce, of course, Loki in a minute here, but starting with you for this. And, of course, our live chatters at live.vognetwork.com, where we do tape live every Sunday night, at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, right after the Bobby Black Wolf show. My question, since we're talking about your top, do you have a favorite?
Really?
Do you have a favorite piece of gaming clothing, like game-related clothing? Because I'll tell you mine, and it always gets comments too. Is that hoodie I have with the Tanuki Mario on it, where with the hoodie actually has the little raccoon ears on it? I always like, what is that 35-year-old man doing wearing a hoodie?
Well, I super love my N7 hoodie just because, like, now if I wear it at work, people get it. Mm-hmm. And I've actually finally hit the point where I stopped keeping count of all of the Shepherd references I get at work, because it's like I hit 30 and then I stopped, because there's that guy that I meet in the hallway every day who's like, "Sup, Shepherd?" And I'm like, this is my favorite hallway in the Citadel. I want coffee.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the good thing about working at at the land of cubicles and tech.
There you go. Well, look, he's been sitting there very patiently, and I think that's the 5 minutes of silence from this man's too many. Say hello, everybody, to Tech Master Loki on the Skype line tonight. Do we have Are you muted, Loki, or did he go?
No, my new touchpad's really sensitive, so I tap it, it's all unmute, mute, unmute, mute.
I was a little worried there for a minute. I was like, well, this is going to be awkward.
No. It's been a weekend, I guess.
It has been a weekend. All right, look, I'm dying because some of the listeners have seen your tweets. You've got to tell us about why you're having technical issues tonight and so forth, and how this all started, Loki.
Well, I tried to play Titanfall on Friday, right? You know, I downloaded it at work, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to totally play it. So I played it at lunch. And, you know, my laptop, I've done a lot of modifications to it, you know, because it was an old Asus gaming laptop, and it was they're basically infamous, that model, of being very terrible as far as heat efficiency goes. And so it got to the point from playing Titanfall. I only went through the tutorial. I didn't even get into a match. I started a match, and then I could tell that the graphics card was overheating a lot. And I touched the top of the laptop. I'm like, ow, that is really hot. And so I just, shut the thing down, and, I was like, okay, I really need to play with my cooling pad, and because I have a souped up cooling pad that I made. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to play this anymore until I get that cooling pad. So, yesterday I was playing Titanfall a little bit and had my cooling pad, and I was just checking to make sure it still got hot, so I shut it off again, updated my graphics drivers, and then put a temperature monitor thing on there so I could see how hot it was getting, and ran it again. And it wasn't getting that hot anymore because, it seemed like it would, the new drivers kind of did the trick. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm done with that. I'm going to shut my laptop down for the night. And so I flipped the screen down, which would put it in sleep. And 20 minutes later, it still hadn't shut off yet. And I was like, okay, what the hell, So I had to force it off, and so I held down the power button to force it off. Tried to turn it back on again. Doesn't see the hard drive anymore. And when I went to go load, okay, I'm gonna load the Windows disk and see if I can maybe recover the drive and stuff. There's just all sorts of graphical glitches like that. That GPU is toast. It is just damaged.
So the Titanfall beta was so awesome it literally melted faces.
Or at least GPUs. But you know what? To be honest, I'm not surprised. That laptop, like I said, is very. It just wasn't meant for that awesome game, I guess. I had to get a new laptop, so I have a new laptop now.
It's kind of funny to me, though, because I'm really surprised. You kind of took it in good stride with a good sense of humor, but there was a lot of people on Twitter this week about that Titanfall beta that were like, how could EA release such a, crappy, I guess it's still, I don't know. When I played it, I didn't notice a lot of bugs or anything like that. It seemed like the game was ready to go to me. But I guess other people have been running into issues. You had your laptop melt, literally.
And here's the thing, is it's based off the Source engine, and it wasn't like I was running it super ultra or something. It was all low, because my GPU is so old, and that is like a NVIDIA 360M or something. It was like a really old one, and it couldn't run crap. So I was like, okay, all low settings, and it was fine. It just ran really hot, and it's really strange though, because I've run pretty graphically intensive games before, and I've never had it overheat. Like I said, I built a custom I've done so many cooling modifications to that. I set the. I put new thermal paste on everything. I literally have the bottom cut open to let more airflow in. I built a cooling pad that has 220 millimeter fans in there that are running high. I have the throttle on the fan that's in the actual laptop cut so that it runs high all the time. So, the fact that it still overheated everything, and that's the weird thing, is when it locked up, it wasn't like it was overheating again. I think that's that first time that it got so hot that something got damaged in there.
Huh. So, now, did you submit that feedback to EA?
I haven't got a chance to, because like I said, my laptop's been down. But I got a new Asus though. Now it's a AMD quad core with I guess it's a lot newer of a graphics card. It's a 8670M with 2 gigabytes of dedicated graphics RAM or video RAM. So, and it's a native 1080p screen. It's like a 15-inch, I think. So, the only problem is, and why you didn't see me on Skype earlier, is it's running Windows 8.1. I fucking hate Windows 8.1.
Oh, no.
Because it's we're having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm like, why the fuck? Okay, so I downloaded Firefox just fine. I'm like, oh, how the hell did I can't connect to the internet, yet I downloaded Firefox. How is that fucking possible? And then I go into my settings. Oh, we've disabled your Wi-Fi card. What the fuck are you doing? It's just so messed up. I hate Windows 8.1.
So what are you talking to us now from if you don't have a laptop?
No, I have a laptop. I got it working. I figured out that it disabled my Wi-Fi, so I turned it back on.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so I have my new laptop that I'm talking to you from right now.
Got it. So you did end up having to buy a new laptop. It's not like you fixed the other one.
No, there's no fixing that one.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm going to. You know what's funny is that right now this particular portion is only going to be heard on the podcast because we lost connection with the live feed that broadcasts our show, and it seems like Titanfall may have melted our host for VOG Network as well. We're not able to broadcast right now, and a lot of our chatters are complaining about it. But some of the comments that did get through before it went down, Tiger Claw says, no matter what they say, laptops are nor mentioned for high-end gaming. Laptops are so thin that there isn't room for cooling the GPU inside it. It's got a little fan, and that wouldn't be enough to cool it down.
Yeah, it's not. And that's why, like I said, I literally had the bottom... I had drilled holes in the bottom of the laptop to where the heat pipe was, and I had air blowing in on it. But yeah, it was still toasty. But I would think that they would have something built in place that, like, okay, it's getting too hot, let's throttle the card back. Because, I've had that in my other, my PC had that. So, I don't know. And it might not even been that. It could have been that the GPU is just, well, the GPU is not fine, but I don't know what exactly it damaged, and to figure it out, I could buy a new drive and put it in there, and I might get Windows running again. But still, that graphics card's got damage to it, and even if I replace that, it would just by that time might as well buy a new laptop.
Right. Do you use desktops at all, or do you only have laptops at home?
I only have a laptop because I've taken apart my desktop. It's so old now that I can't really run anything on it, so I just run on my laptop now.
There you go. Well, at least we got our live listeners back, so that whole thing unmelted there. That was really weird. We've usually if we have the live listeners get dropped, it's back in like literally 10 seconds, but we lost them for almost a full 2 minutes. That sucks. But such is the joy of live radio, right?
Yeah.
Before we get into our quick kickoff topic tonight, Loki, I want to ask you the same question I asked Dark Soccer a minute ago about clothes. Do you have a favorite like gaming shirt or hoodie or something that you like to wear? The Tingle costume?
No Tingle costume.
Okay.
No, I have a few different T-shirts. I'm wearing my Portal one right now from Woot. I bought a lot of shirts from Woot. It's all about them being comfortable, and a lot of the shirts I've bought some from Ripped and they shrank. Which is annoying because they keep shrinking. The Woot ones, for some reason, though, they haven't shrunk, and that's why I kind of like them. My other one is my Video Game High School Season 1 Kickstarter shirt. That one's super soft and comfortable. So, but yeah, those are my favorite ones, at least right now, just because that's all I have.
I like that you're a little more practical when we talk about the favorite shirt. You're like, oh, well, this one was the most comfortable. Like, it doesn't matter what was on it.
Well, yeah,
In
I
defense
got
of
some
my
really
hoodie, it's
cool
super
ones.
comfortable.
I had one from Ripped that was, Lokios and stuff like that, and it shrank. I was like, God damn it, now it's too damn small. It looks really stupid when I wear it, but I don't know.
All right. Well, hey, I want to do a quick kickoff topic tonight before we get into our gaming weeks and everything, and maybe Loki in a Tingle costume will be future DLC for this. This is pretty funny. We just announced this on the Bobby Blackwolf show because, again, we tape live on Sunday nights. And immediately before our show, Bobby Blackwolf, he's one man over in Atlanta talking about games. And if you don't know Bobby, I know many of you that listen to this show listen to Bobby. But if for whatever reason you don't know Bobby, Bobby also is kind of like an indie programmer. He's dabbled in things in the past, like doing, creating music for games. And he does a little bit of programming. He did the VOG Network site, which is, if you've never visited, it's also kind of a game in itself because you can check into shows. There's a passphrase somewhere in this show if you're listening on the podcast, or you can actually check in live and you get points and loot. It's kind of like think like Foursquare or Get Glue, one of those types of sites. Like that whole little game is built into the website for fun, and sometimes for little prizes, little raffles. But because Bobby's in Atlanta, they had that whole lockdown this week with the snow and the ice on the roads, and after what had happened there a couple weeks ago, they said everybody stay the hell home. Do not leave the house. Do not try to drive. So some people in the snow go all Jack Nicholson in The Shining and go crazy. But Bobby gets programming. And what he programmed this week is a really fun little thing for the site. So you got to check this out. Flappy.vognetwork.com. That's flappy.vognetwork.com. Yes, Bobby Blackwolf has unleashed Flappy Vog on the world. As if you weren't sick of Flappy Bird clones. But you know what? No, this is really funny. And there are some really funny Flappy Bird clones out there. Ever since they took that game down, we have Maverick Bird, from Terry Cavanagh, the maker of VVVVV. That one's amazing. It's like very like Commodore 64 inspired. It's great. It might be whatever it's called. That game is awesome. And let's see, there was Flappy Bert from Sesame Street. They did that.
Flappy Caden.
That's right. You just saw that on Tumblr, Flappy Caden. So, hey, we wanted a little piece of the parody action as well, and it was a good way for Bobby to kind of mess around and making his first game. I think it's his first game in Unity, his first public game anyway, over in Unity. So that's really cool that Bobby did that. And what's also kind of fun, you actually play the game as hosts of the various shows on VOG that don't shut up because we're podcasters. We never stop talking. Bobby's in there. I'm in there. Brad from Pod Culture's in there. And Travis from Understation Live's in there. That's like the first set. But Bobby will be enhancing it in the coming days. I mean, he literally did this on Wednesday until today. So, like, those of us that couldn't get our voice samples in because, like, our laptops freaking melted or whatever, we're going to get in there a little later. Like, I know Dark Sakura's going to do some and so forth. So, Flappy VOG will only get bigger and better. So, Loki, have you been able to check out Flappy VOG yet?
Yeah, I did. He wanted me to, record some stuff for it, and that was right before.
Yeah, right before the meltdown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think? Pretty. I mean, it's
fun.
obviously very basic, but it's cool that he whipped that together in days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's see. ActDeft is saying that I'm pronouncing Terry's last name wrong. I apologize. Kavanaugh. I could see pronouncing it either way. Every last name needs a pronunciation guy with it there. ActDeft also saying Vogg's Flappy Bird will get bigger and better. Game Guru, in my response to the Jack Nicholson from The Shining response, said, Bobby did go crazy. He made a Flappy Bird clone. Well, I know we're probably a little sick to death of talking about this game, but you know what? It's become this very strange phenomenon that a lot of people are talking about, and I think it is worth bringing up just a couple quick follow-up items here about Flappy Bird. iTunes and Google Play are really starting to crack down on a lot of the clone apps that are out there. And if you look at the top 10 right now on iTunes in the App Store for free stuff, like in the top 10, 3 of them are Flappy Bird clones. Like the number 1 is like the little the Cheep Cheeps from Mario in their own game, so it's very interesting there. But why did Dong Nguyen take down Flappy Bird in the first place? Why? He said to an interview with Forbes, he pulled the game because, quote, it's an addictive product. It happened to become an addictive product. I think it has become a problem. My life has not been as comfortable as I was before. I couldn't sleep. So what do you think? Was Flappy Bird too addicting, Loki? Was addiction the problem? Loki?
No idea why. I mean, I guess he could think that people would be addicted to it, but to be honest, I think it was just all the attention he was getting was too much for him. He just wanted to make a game because if it was any other developer, they would be happy with attention, to a game like that.
Dark Sakura, are we proud of the creator of Flappy Bird for having the social responsibility to recognize that his game was too addicting and pull it down, or is this all a little cray?
Sure.
Well, you're telling me you have no opinion?
Sure. In the end, it doesn't matter why the fuck he did it. He did it. He made a choice. He did it. Everyone else has to deal with it. The end. And if you don't like it, tough titty.
That's a fair response. Why do we keep trying to overanalyze this shit? He did what he wanted to do.
I
Deal
know,
with
right?
it.
It's like, aren't there, babies being abandoned in Russia? And, people being shot on the street.
Yes, but we do a show about video games, Dark Sakura.
I know.
People listen to us to escape those things.
Yeah, but in the end, does it really, really matter why he did it? Does it?
Maybe. Well, one could argue that yes, because would future games possibly suffer a similar fate, and maybe
they should.
Maybe ones that have a little more depth than Flappy Bird. What if Mass Effect? What if the creators of Mass Effect, Dark Sakura, decided they have a social responsibility to stop...
EA social responsibility. Yeah.
What if EA recognized they have a social responsibility to stop Mass Effect fan fiction? It needs to be stopped.
Nothing will stop the wank. Nothing will stop the wank.
I do think it needs to be stopped.
Yeah, well... I think tacos need to be here at Rob's house. But are they here? No. God.
All right, so there you go.
You have all caught me, by the way, in mood.
In mood?
In mood. It will be a night of honesty.
All right. Oh, you're having one of those nights like I was having a couple weeks ago.
I might be.
We're going to do a special segment tonight. Ask Dark Sakura a question.
Okay, we'll do it.
All right, maybe later. All right.
Why did I get disconnected from chat?
Because it deal with it. It wanted to kick you.
You know what? It's because of your butt.
Because I joined in.
Farted or something, and it affected the internet. And it was like, you know what? You don't get to be online. Fuck you. Really, internet? Fuck you back, bitch.
All right, look, Dark Sakura, I am going to ask you a question. And that question is, how was your gaming week? What types of video games have you been playing this week?
It was really shitty. All I've done is play Animal Crossing and nothing else. I really want tacos, by the way. Are you Dunny Fire? I just really want tacos, okay? So don't judge me. So yeah, I played some Final Fantasy 14 for a little bit, and I actually saved a lot of the screen captures, and they're part of my desktop thing at work at the land of cubicles and tech. And oh yeah, I need to go to Act Def's Animal Crossing Town because I have one of the stupid petitions. But this makes me actually happy, like for real happy. In my village, that motherfucker Ed is gone. He didn't even tell me. Next thing I see, Isabel's like, Ed's leaving. Isn't that sad? I'm like, no. Fuck him. So I planted black roses where his house was.
Did you throw a little party in town to celebrate that he finally left?
Threw a little party in my head.
Did you leave a little sign where his house used to be going like...
He's not worth leaving a sign. I'm just planting the black roses there so that my grass will grow and I won't have to remember he was ever there. Fuck him.
Love it. All right. Alan Alchemy in chat says, you got Ed to move out. That is huge.
Finally. Well, I had to ignore him for what? What was it? Because I had him... soon after I started my village, and then I kept hitting him and beating him, and he apparently liked it because, I guess he's a dirty horse. So finally I just started ignoring him. And actually...
You're a very dirty horse, Mr. Ed.
You named one Politary, okay? When we were playing this horse racing... At least it wasn't a horse humping game like that other one.
Final Furlong.
Furlong, yeah. But, like, fucking Ed. I did salt the earth. I salted and burned the bones. And actually, thank you for saying something, Queen Samia, because she's the one who gave me the idea to ignore him. And it worked. So thank you for... Even though I'm still totally jealous that, like, she got rid of her Ed first.
Alan Alchemy in chat says, Dark Sakura salted the earth, quote, nothing can ever grow here again, unquote. I think it's all a front. I think you got Isabel to lie for you, and I think you somehow figured out how
I'm the mayor. Fuck that.
You sent Ed to the glue factory. You made him disappear.
I sent Ed to, I don't know.
All right.
No, you know why I wouldn't send Ed to the glue factory or to any type of factory? Because he's useless. No one's allowed to use that carcass. Even the earth will not absorb the nutrients from his decayed corpse. It will just lay there forever in a sludge of black decayed goo.
All right. Next week on As the Animal Crossing Village Turns...
Fuck.
Who will Dark Sakura set her sights on next?
No, because I like everybody in my town now. I have Groucho and Lobo, and I have Margie and Whitney, the two that were from the anime.
I couldn't tell you shit about my Animal Crossing village.
That's because you abandoned your people when they needed you the most. You were the worst mayor ever. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm going to go hang out with Act Def now. Bye.
But I'm playing Bravely Default.
You know what? I'm mad because I want that game.
All right, Loki. How was your... Yeah, you okay over there? We can hear all your movements. Be careful. Loki, how was your gaming week?
Okay, so I played Titanfall. And, that didn't work out too well. I actually did get to check out another thing. It was Jazzpunk. And Jazzpunk's this game that's... I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like an adventure game, but it's just got a lot of really strange humor in it. It's kind of done like you're a secret agent and you're investigating all these different missions that... It's like have you steal a kidney at one time and find some carrier pigeons, and I don't know. It's just a really strange game. It's got a lot of funny humor in it, though. So I got to check that out and play a couple hours of that. And then I went in and played some Grand Theft Auto 5 online just because they had a new weapon out for this week for Valentine's Day. And also all the strip club lap dances were free. So, why not? And yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Oh, Call of Duty 4. I actually played a little bit of that online on Wednesday. But yeah, hopefully now that I've got a better gaming PC, I'm going to check out some of my Steam backlog maybe. Or try Titanfall again. Hopefully it won't eat this one too.
Are you really trying to push your luck there?
Hey, you know what? They have a 1-year no condition warranty. So, if this thing gets set on fire by Titanfall, they'll replace it for free. So I don't care.
There you go. All right. My gaming week was pretty abbreviated as well because I had a big show on Friday. So the few days before that, I was literally just stressed.
You were spending all night in high heels and pantyhose.
Yeah, it was the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's what you're supposed to do. But yes, that was Friday. Yeah, I know. But we had a sold out show in the middle of February, which is on Valentine's Day nonetheless. So that was pretty awesome, I gotta say.
Oh, I almost forgot. Dan and I did something really romantic for Valentine's Day.
What'd you do?
Our taxes. Okay, you can go.
All right. Well, I wore women's clothes in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that was in front of 500 people.
Never be embarrassed.
All right. No, I've been doing it for years and years, and I love the community and the environment it creates.
I miss doing crew stuff.
Oh yeah,
crew is fun.
It's good. All right, we have a lot of just out of high school girls that kind of do our crew, and they have a lot of fun with it. So they have a good time. But anyway, this isn't the Rocky Horror Podcast. This is a podcast about video games. So what have I been playing outside of that? This weekend, I've been, because of the show Friday, I've been really this whole weekend, it's just been Dead Man Walking. I'm just my back hurts. I want to sleep.
My back.
Seriously. Oh my God. We have these little, okay, sorry not to talk about Rocky again, but you need to know it. Now it's relevant to the story. Okay. We have these stairs backstage. It's it's just like the movie Showgirls. You have to run up and down these stairs all night when you want to go do a quick change. So I was running down the stairs, and nobody pushed me down them because I'm not a bitch or whatever, but only one person can fit in the staircase. So you have to kind of yell if you're going to go down the staircase because somebody might be coming up. So anyway, I had to go up and down this thing a ton of times because there's all the costume changes. So by the time Saturday rolls around, I wake up and I'm like, my back hurts. I hate being old. I used to do this shit every week. Not a problem, and now my back hurts so much. So, yeah. So Saturday I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit around and play video games all day. So I played Final Fantasy 14, and one other game that I played was Diablo 3 on PlayStation 3. Diablo 3, of course, I played a long time ago on PC, and I played the demo on PlayStation 3 a while ago, and I decided I would put the game in my rental service queue and get it at some point, because I was like, I want to try it, but I don't really want to buy it. Maybe I'll buy it on PlayStation 4, but I don't really want to buy it on PlayStation 3 if they're not going to do the upgrade. So I got it on PlayStation 3 from the rental service, and I was playing a lot of that. And it is really weird to get used to the controller at first, because I can't, I hate that you can't specifically target things. You can kind of point the direction and it sort of targets what it thinks you want to go for, but it's really weird that I can't, you don't have that precision from the mouse. Now the game is tuned to that, and it works, and I'm not saying it's a bad experience, but it does take some real getting used to, especially having played through the game once on the PC. But it works on console. I'm having fun. I like the fact that there's no auction house. It really does make a difference because you really have to work for the gear that you want, and it makes crafting more important and all that. So it changes the challenge a little bit. So I have nobody to play multiplayer with yet, but maybe when the game is released for PlayStation 4, people will kind of rediscover it all over again. So that would be really cool. So, yeah. That was Diablo 3 on the PlayStation 3. So, yeah, I'm having enough fun with it. I heard that your characters will get to transfer over to PlayStation 4, and that's more incentive for me to get the PS4 version whenever it comes out. I mean, they were saying it was like a launch window game, and then it kind of disappeared. My thought is they're going to sell it with the expansion, because I can't see them selling the game alone and then trying to sell you an expansion right after. I would kind of think they're going to time the release of the PlayStation 4 to be the game plus expansion. But I
think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but that's my guess. That's my big guess.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, other than that, some of the other same old stuff on DS, lying in bed with my back hurting. I play a little more Bravely Default, but not a lot. All my friends have run circles around me in that game, but I'm okay. I had other things to do this week, so, yeah. There you go. So that was pretty much my gaming week, so I think that's all of us. So quickly, some housekeeping. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/OLR, and you can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Orange Lounge Radio, and our Google Plus page, google.com/plus Orange Lounge Radio. We appreciate all you guys that follow us on the various social media, and you can keep up with the latest and greatest of the show, answer our frugal question of the week, give us your feedback, and so forth. Also, we are definitely going to be closing the mailbag that we currently have. This week will be the last week to use that email address that we have, mailbag@orangeloungeradio.com. It will no longer work after episode 541. Don't want to discourage you from sending emails, but we have such a huge spam problem. We do think we know what we're going to do to fix it, so that will happen next week. So mailbag@orangeloungeradio.com will no longer work. After how many years have we had that address? Like 12 years? After 12 years of using it.
4 evs.
Yeah, it just has too many spammy problems. So we're just we're gonna burn it down to the ground and plant black roses, just like Dark Sakura did with Ed's corpse.
All of Ed's house. Everything having to do with Ed.
Amazing. All right, let's get into some gaming news. And I believe Loki's going to start us off talking about his favorite game of the week, right, Loki?
You joke, but I had a great time playing the 2 matches I did before my computer exploded. But Titanfall beta is going to be open to all very soon. In fact, it's actually already open for everybody as of the 15th on Xbox One, and it's supposed to be through this Origin as well on the 16th. Here's the weird thing, though. I've gotten like 4 or 5 beta invites, or not even invites, but codes. They keep sending me codes for everything. In fact, I checked my mail like right before the show started, and I had yet another set of codes. One for Xbox One, one for PC. So I don't think it's that hard to get into the beta in the first place, but...
Hey, I didn't get in until you gave me the code, which, by the way, I only really had enough time to play the tutorial section, but I liked that it had, like, Matrix elements of running on the walls, and I like that it was really doing some different stuff that we haven't really seen in first-person shooters. Like, that would, like, I like the idea that you could just summon this gigantic mech to fall from space onto where you're at. I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous.
It's pretty awesome, and even the whole 6-on-6 thing is not a big deal because there is a lot of AI guys running around, although the AI people are completely retarded. I mean, like, you seriously can walk up right to them and punch them in the face, and that's it.
I think it was Bobby, was comparing it a little bit to League of Legends and, like, the gruntlings in that game, that they're supposed to be easy like that, but it's just, if you get kind of like, if the numbers of them become insurmountable, that's how you can lose. That's kind of the idea I got.
I guess. I mean, I don't know, it was fun. I had a lot of fun, so I'm definitely going to check it out some more, but, yeah, so if you haven't got in yet, you should be able to get in now. So at least definitely on Xbox One and PC, I'm assuming is open now. So go check it out if you haven't, because it's pretty awesome. Just be careful if you're playing on a laptop. And then the other thing is, of course, they're going to be fixing the Xbox One controller. And I guess this is by request from Respawn. They were saying that they're fixing, I guess, some of the inputs in there. They haven't really said what exactly it says. It wasn't really... it didn't feel like it should be. It was a little overly twitchy with the current controls. And they're saying now it's fixed and they're happy with it. So I'm wondering if that means that they're just going to adjust the dead zone on the controller or what. I would think that's almost something that they could do with the actual game itself. Like, you wouldn't have to adjust the controller, just adjust the game, but whatever. As long as it works better, I'm all about better.
I wish EA or Activision would have complained about the D-pad on the 360 a long time ago and how awful it was.
Well, even like they have that convertible D-pad now on some of those controllers, and that's even more terrible from what I've seen. It can break off real easy too. I think what would be awesome is if they would put out the goddamn PC drivers for the Xbox One controller. That would be pretty awesome.
That's true. Wasn't that supposed to happen like soon?
At some point. I would think that maybe with Titanfall launching, that would be a good... Well, I don't know. They still want you to play on Xbox One, I guess. And I gotta say, playing Titanfall, I was like, could I get an Xbox One?
Here we go.
No, I'm not doing it.
Unfortunately, you just had to buy a new laptop, so that kind of screwed that plan.
Yeah,
All right.
I didn't really want to spend that money, and my wife's gonna be a little mad. But she said I could, so you know.
She said you could do it. You got permission, so you're good.
And to be honest, it's not as expensive. I mean, I don't know. I think it's reasonable. Whatever.
All right, fair enough. Other big gaming news this week. Since apparently I'm the show's resident Nintendo fanboy, I'm going to talk to you guys about a little bit of Nintendo news. Why are you making an angry face?
I like Nintendo.
I know you do. No, I was going off that email from last week.
Okay.
But I like everybody, and Nintendo had a big thing this week. They did their big Nintendo Direct. So let me quickly review some of the news that came up in Nintendo Direct this week, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So the Nintendo Direct took place on February 13th, and we learned the following. Little Mac will be a character in Super Smash Brothers for the new one.
That was the best trailer ever.
That is actually kind of one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, like why the hell wasn't he in the previous games? We've really been missing this guy for a while. So I know a lot of fans have been demanding him for a while. So there you go. Kirby Triple Deluxe finally announced for North. Well, it's been announced, but now it's officially dated. And of course, I don't have the date in front of me. Loki, help me out.
May 2nd.
Thank you. What's that? May 2nd?
Yeah, May 2nd.
There it is.
Same as what was it? It's same as Mario Golf World Tour, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then they also dated Mario Kart 8, which will be out on May 30th. And they announced along with that all of the Koopa kids are going to be playable in that game, which is pretty exciting.
That seemed not very exciting at all. In fact, I was just like, man, instead of having like 8 Koopa kids, why couldn't they have had like 8 interesting characters?
Actually, it's 7 Koopa kids, not 8, because
okay,
Bowser
whatever.
was World 8's boss, so it's 7 Koopa kids. Sorry.
Okay, so 7 Koopa kids. Instead of 7 Koopa kids, they could have had like 1 or 2 Koopa kids and, Gino or, I don't know, maybe like a Shy Guy or...
Well, I don't think they're necessarily cutting all these. I just get the sense that Mario Kart 8 is going to have a huge roster, which is pretty cool. So, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Some of the Koopa kids are pretty cool and don't really get like enough attention. So I think it's pretty cool.
Except no one is ever going to get the reference for Morton Koopa Jr. unless they are old like us.
I like Wendy O. Koopa.
Yeah.
So, punk rock's cool. But anyway, NES Remix Volume 2 is announced. It's going to come with Super Luigi Brothers. Those are coming out on April 25th. NES Remix Volume 2 is going to have the good NES games, or I should say because to be fair, NES Remix did have some good games in it, but it also had a lot of filler crap. So it looks like NES Remix Volume 2 is going to cut a lot of the filler crap in favor of games that we actually remember. So that's pretty cool. I'm kind of tempted, but we'll see. Game Boy Advance games will be coming to the Wii U Virtual Console in April. That is official. Pokemon Battle Troyes is going to get a sequel on the 3DS eShop. And Steel Diver Sub Wars, one of those It's Out Now announcements, the free-to-play version of Steel Diver that we've been hearing about for some time, that is now available for download on the 3DS eShop.
I'll quote myself here. Stop trying to make Steel Diver happen. It's just not going to happen.
I downloaded it. I didn't get to play it yet, so I don't have an opinion on it really yet. But hey, I'll try. If it's free, I'll try it. Especially with Nintendo jumping into this territory themselves. Steel Diver I think is a good choice to test the waters with. No pun intended. So, because you're right, Loki. It didn't work on 3DS, so it'll be interesting to see if this kind of revives it or if it not really. So we'll see. Also, on the eShop announced today, Inazuma 11, which is the soccer RPG that's been out in Japan and Europe for some time. It was just, bam, it's going to be on the eShop right now for North America. So I know some people are very excited about that. So, and there was also a new trailer for Bayonetta 2. So quite a bit of news for Nintendo in that Nintendo Direct. A little heavy on 3DS, which is, of course, Nintendo's money machine right now. I was a little disappointed in how light it was on Wii U. I was hoping there might be a little something else, but I suppose they did say it was only supposed to be spring type of releases, but yet then they threw in Bayonetta 2. Now, I wasn't expecting the Bayonetta 2. I'm still sitting here thinking that we ain't going to see Bayonetta 2 until 2015, but apparently it's going to be in Japan this summer. Bayonetta 2 will be a game this year, apparently. That is what Platinum Games and Nintendo announced, is that Bayonetta 2 is going to be out in Japan in the summer and will be in the West sometime this year. So, color me a little bit surprised. So, they did talk about some non-spring releases, because there was that. So, I'll be very curious to see what E3 brings us as far as, what other big, because Bayonetta 2 is not going to be enough. I mean, Bayonetta was great, but I do think Bayonetta 2 has a really limited audience, and I'm a little worried about how it's going to sell, because Bayonetta 2 is for those fans that actually went and bought a Wii U. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people that go buy a Wii U because of Bayonetta 2, but we'll see. I guess it really depends on how good the game is.
We actually had talk about getting a Wii U because of Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, there you go.
And so if we do that, then I definitely want Bayonetta 2.
I wonder if Super Smash Brothers is going to make the holiday this year. They're sure acting like it. That would be...
It looked fun.
I mean, if Wii U does get Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Brothers, and maybe one other little Nintendo secret that they're sitting on until E3 all this year, that's going to be a nice little boost for Nintendo. Now again, they still really need the third party support, but it'll still, well, if they could work a price cut in as well, I think they would really be competitive. But we'll see. So there you go. That's my news from Nintendo Direct. Loki, I don't know if you had some opinions on what you saw on Nintendo Direct. Loki, did you mute yourself again? You got to watch that. Or did he just go away for a minute?
I think Josh took over.
I guess
decided
so.
To fill in for him, but he's shy.
All right. Well, that is why he does the show on Skype right now. Is he's got
Sorry.
That's okay.
Taking kids' shoes off.
That's what we figured. All right.
Anyways, so let's see here.
No. We were asking you about the about the Nintendo Direct and what you thought of it.
It was boring. I mean, they didn't really announce anything interesting, and they spent way too much time on just... I don't know. I mean, is any of that stuff really supposed to get me excited about a Wii U or anything? I mean, it's all 3DS news. And honestly, with Bayonetta, even though they're kind of claiming that it's going to be out later this year, I just don't buy it. I mean, and even...
You'll believe it when you see it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, here's the thing. Even though Bayonetta 2 might be coming out later this year, is it really going to sell any systems? I mean, some people, they're, I'm so excited about Bayonetta and that look at the Wii U, but I don't know. It's just like even like in the second quarter, I was talking about like what titles are coming out, and they've only got like maybe 2 or 3 Wii U games. I mean, it's literally like 6 Wii U games in the first half of the year, like retail releases, and that's kind of what I count. I mean, yeah, you can go digital all day, but let's be honest, digital offerings even on other consoles are way better than what's being offered on Wii U. I mean, it's just not like a ton of digital releases on there. They're hurting. They really need, like, Mario Kart 8 better be, I mean, it's going to be awesome, but is it going to be enough are they going to start selling a ton more units than they were before? I just don't think that they are. I think it'll be a slight uptick, but it's just not, they still haven't found a good hook. I mean, we already know that there's going to be great Wii U games from Nintendo, but that's not enough to hook a lot of people to buy the system.
All right, well, we'll see. I think a price cut might be the trick, but we'll see. I mean,
that would help. That would definitely help, because right now, like, even like selling Wii U to my customers and stuff, no one wants to bring it in. They have no interest in it at all. And so now you're losing retailer interest, you're losing third party interest, you're losing consumer interest. I don't know where they're going to be able to make it up.
All right, well, we'll see as the year continues. In the meantime, Dark Sakura.
Yeah, I got something. So, as we might have teased, there was talk going on about virtual purchases becoming regulated. And this is, by the way, news out of Amsterdam, where pot brownies. No, I know they have other stuff than that, like history and art.
And Syl.
Oh, I miss Syl. Hi, Syl, if you're listening. Anyway, there's been the whole thing with kids that are basically spending all their parents' money on, little transactions in games. And so now they're, because of an investigation going on from the UK Office of Fair Trading, they've got a lot more information about what kids are, spending their parents' money on pretty much in those little games. They say they found a lack of, I'm going to just quote this, transparent, accurate, and clear upfront information about costs. Saying that the cost may change as you hit levels. And there's actually even a quote from Peter Molyneux who says that it was shameful that developers are exploiting their users that way. So now there's talk, and they're actually talking about in some countries of having these transactions be regulated and even taxable. So I'm really, really interested in seeing how that plays out.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, it would seem so hard to regulate the internet.
Arbitrary in a
I
way.
know. Yeah, that too. Anyway.
But coming into the situation that we've seen, families finding themselves in, because, of course, kids have no concept of money when it's virtual. And a lot of adults don't have a concept of money when it's a card or just, I get my points.
Why do you think we had, in the first place, things like Xbox Live points and, Nintendo Wii points and things like that? I mean, it's to make it
separate
sound like
the concept of cost.
Exactly. Now, granted, Microsoft got rid of that. Nintendo still has it, though.
Well, also, it means that they can charge a universal amount of points and make the individual country cost of it different. So, for example, what may be 400 Wii U points in Japan may be something completely different here. So, that... again, it's hiding that illusion of how much money you're actually spending on it. So I'd like to actually see some type of regulation come out, especially over here. But then again, I don't know. I don't know that we are, because people, will pay off, their attorneys and judges and everything and, circumvent copyright law. And so
I wish I could buy Nintendo Wii U games with Dogecoin. Or whatever, however it's pronounced, Doge, or something like that. Doge. I think it's from Strong Bad. The whole thing is from Strong Bad, so it's however that he said it, and I forget. But yeah, I wish I could, use my Dogecoin to buy Wii U games.
Oh, virtual currency.
Well, it's going to be. That's a whole nother thing. This is opening a whole nother can of worms. But that whole Bitcoin and Doge and all that. It's very interesting that stuff isn't really regulated yet.
I'll tell you what about the Bitcoin. I had a very entertaining day about a month and a half ago, of watching someone just completely take about, what was it, like 9 million or something worth of Bitcoins, just completely taking it from right out in front of people, hacking his way out of money.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
That was hilarious.
Well, that's kind of why I personally like the Dogecoin, because it's not very valuable and it's used in a much less serious manner, like more about like what internet community, so to speak, is supposed to be about. So I think that currency is kind of fun, but yeah, it's all the rest of it's really volatile, and you kind of are waiting like, are they going to try to clamp down on this? But then again, how do you clamp down on something that's born of the internet, that's a world thing? Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
I'm still of the opinion that I should form my own country, my own island nation, where where we have a complete monorail system. Everyone else will ride a Vespa, and we don't have this fuckery going on.
We're supposed to get the shoes that tie their own laces next year, just like Back to the Future.
Oh!
Queen Simia in our chat room says it's Doja, if you pronounce it like the actual word there. So, all right, fair enough. Well, give me more of it. I will gladly accept donations in Doja.
For the record, I made one of those little memes to put in my cubicle.
Did you?
I did.
With the Shiba Inu, or?
Yeah, with the Shiba Inu. It was awesome. I can't say what it was because then I'd have to mention where I work.
Oh, I see. I was like, I want to know what it is, but okay.
I am going to design a picture for the land of cubicles and tech.
Okay, fair enough. All right, moving on. Loki.
All right. So we have some information about the brand new, Japanese Arcade Expo coming in 2014. Some of the games are going to be showing off there. Looks like some updates to just a bunch of games that I've seen before. Like, remember that old Alpine Racer game that they had, with the downhill skiing game? So they're going to have a new one of that. Midnight Maximum Tune 5. Hopefully some great new music coming from that as well. Let's see, a game called Mock Storm, which is kind of like some sort of, looks like a dog-fighting game. And then Taiko no Tatsujin Master White version is going to be coming out as well. So that looks kind of cool.
Taiko no Tatsujin in the arcade is so fun. I played that in San Francisco a week. It was when we had the Horde House night, when Shane was visiting, and when we went to Japantown with Grandpa and Extra and everybody. I played Taiko no Tatsujin, and it's so much better in the arcade when you have that gigantic taiko drum to bang on. But anyway, sorry, just random tangent.
No, and then of course, it being Japan, they've got a Gundam versus game coming out as well. It looks kind of cool. But yeah,
is it like the older Gundam game? That was it was like the first-person Gundam game.
Yeah, I think it's like that. It's hard to tell. The screenshot's really small. And then, what was I going to say? There is I saw like an AKB48 shooter game.
What?
It's a zombie shooter game. So
are the girls zombies?
Japanese pop idol zombie shooter game.
Yes, I've seen this game. Yes, it's the pop idols as zombies.
I might need this.
Yeah, I've heard of this. Hilarious.
So, yeah, that's everything.
Awesome. By the way, our chatters over at live.vognetwork.com say hi to Josh. We can hear him in the background, which is fine. It's cute. All right. Moving on. A lot of people. You might want to mute your speakers there, Loki, with the kids around, because I'm going to use some naughty language with this, because this really ticks me off. And this is more... And there's really no better word for this, which is why I told Loki to mute it, because it's really pure fuckery is what's going on there with Candy Crush Saga. And I'm sure many of you have heard this, because this is a news story. The interesting thing about it is that much like Candy Crush Saga, this news story has really caught wildfire through Facebook. And there's all these people sharing, like people that I didn't even know really played games, that share these things that say, here's why you should stop playing Candy Crush Saga. And it's because of another game out there called Candy Swipe, which many people are confusing for Candy Crush Saga. In fact, the creator, Albert Ransom, has put together quite the evidence that his game gets confused with Candy Crush Saga all of the time. Well, what's the problem? Candy Swipe is a ripoff game, right? Wrong. Candy Swipe was written in 2010. In fact, Candy Swipe was written by Albert Ransom as a tribute to his mom, who had passed away at 62 because of leukemia.
And it has better graphics.
Yes, and Albert Ransom details this all in a letter that he wrote openly that has gone viral to King, the makers of Candy Crush Saga, in a note over at candyswipe.com. And he basically said to the makers of Candy Crush Saga, congrats, you win. You're taking the food out of my family's mouth when Candy Swipe clearly existed well before Candy Crush Saga. And this all boils down to trademark issues. Because Albert Ransom, when he made Candy Swipe, he tried to actually get protection for his name, intellectual property protection, but the makers of Candy Crush Saga are coming in and saying, nope, you got to change your game because people are getting it confused with us, and we own the trademark. We bought the name Candy as a trademark because they didn't actually get that; they bought it, and so your game is too confusing, even though it was out first. So this guy who made the game is battling these trademark issues, and now Candy Crush Saga is trying to cancel the Candy Swipe trademark. So the guy who made this game can't even use his own name. And the way trademark issues work in this country, it doesn't necessarily matter that he's first. It matters that Candy Crush Saga is kind of the well-known one, so to speak.
It's just completely stupid.
It's completely stupid, and it just keeps on going like why we need reform of these laws in this country. But unfortunately, our Congress, which can't get a fucking thing done, like not a single fucking thing done, will never get around to this. Because I'm sure, as many of you probably feel, there's far more important things that they need to be dealing with. And, certainly there are some other things too. But, I mean, this is the type of fuckery that these laws not being reformed that were written well before the internet are leading us to. So anyhow, so basically, you know, this maker is saying, congrats, you win. And it was very passive aggressive there. Congratulations on your success is how it ended there. But I think we all know that was very tongue in cheek. Anyhow, so I mean, again, if you're still out there playing Candy Crush Saga, or you know people that are out there playing Candy Crush Saga, I have no easy way to say this. You're continuing to support this. Now, it's important to note...
It makes them part of the problem.
It really does. Like, there's no nice way for me to say that. You are part of the problem in letting King... Literally, you're part of the problem. Because, what did we just say? In trademark laws, because Candy Crush Saga is more well-known, because it's more popular, because people continue to play it, they can stomp the little guy like this. I think it's very important to note, Candy Swipe isn't really a replacement for Candy Crush Saga, because Candy Swipe, yes, it uses little pictures of candy too, but it plays like you connect lines. It plays more like that. There's a puzzle game like Puzzle Miner or something on iOS that's very similar, but not
iOS.
Sorry, iOS. The puzzle. I can't think of the name of it.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's,
but I bought Candy Swipe.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to say that I've never ever gotten Candy Crush.
So. But yeah, there's that, and yeah. So please, if you're playing Candy Crush Saga, stop. There's many other games out there that are very similar. Like, I would even say play Bejeweled, which is now an EA game. I would much rather you be playing Bejeweled than Candy Crush Saga, which is a much better Match 3 game. So just throwing that out there. So a little tough love from Rob Roberts.
Oh, I fully condone that course of action because I mean, seriously, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
King needs to be put to an end. King needs to be buried in the backyard and
with
salted,
Zynga.
And just like Ed was.
I'm just gonna call them Ed Corp.
Yeah, seriously. I look. Many of you listen to this show on your mobile phones. Take a moment right now. Do it. This is peer pressure. Do it. Delete Candy Crush Saga. Just do it. I don't care if you're on level 250. I don't care if you're on level 300. These guys are evil. Do it right now. Delete it off your phone.
Do it.
Peer pressure.
And if you don't, I'm very disappointed with you.
You make me.
I'm borderline angry.
I'm crying a little bit.
You're crying on the inside.
I am.
I'm just angry.
I'm not going to buy Dark Soccer at Taco because you won't delete that app.
I really want a fucking taco. If I don't get my taco, I'm going to kill another horse in my village. And I don't even have another. I'm going to import another fucking horse into my village. And I'm going to stab it with a shovel. Because of you. Because of you people playing that game. You made me do it. That's what all the mentally ill people say when they kill people, right? You made me do it.
All right. Act Deft in chat at live.vocnetwork.com says, Sky, I won't do it because I never installed it in the first place. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
See, that means that you and I are the very awesome people, because we don't ever have to deal with that shit.
But
make sure that also, I will even give people $3 to buy Candy Swipe.
Be careful what you offer.
One or two people.
Okay.
And I have to really like you. Like, I'd buy it for you and Alan.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I would buy it for maybe Act Deft. Maybe. I don't know. You have to send me real tacos. Because you're like where real tacos are.
All right. Anyway, full disclosure, I tried Candy Crush Saga because all my friends were playing it.
I would never put a horse's head in someone's bed. I would just... No, that's disgusting. What kind of a sicko are you? Okay, so how about some other stuff?
How about it?
Well, we might have covered this before about Yasumi Matsuno, who directed Vagrant Story and Final Fantasy Tactics. Well, there's a partnership with Playdeck, that's a mobile developer, to do a Kickstarter campaign for a tactical RPG called Unsung Story: Tale of the Guardians. And it's turn-based, 3D map, all of that. Well, it actually funded. As of Valentine's Day, the Unsung Story Tale of the Guardians Kickstarter fully funded. The first 200,000 backers that pledged $20 reserve a PC, Mac, iOS, or Android copy of Unsung Story that's supposed to be out in July 15th. And if you donated $50, there's digital versions of the strategy guide, the soundtrack, and a poster. So, congrats to you, dude. It looks neat, except I really, really hate turn-based RPGs. So I'll let other people enjoy it for me.
Well, there's a lot of fans of that game, so.
Yeah, and Act F, they would get soggy, so I don't want soggy tacos. I'll just have to come hang out with you.
All right.
And ew, Nemesis, yuck. Doritos taco, ew. That just made my stomach curdle. I don't want tacos anymore now.
Those Loco tacos?
The Dorito taco, whatever
that's
the crap they are.
The Loco tacos from Taco Bell.
I don't want tacos anymore, Rob. I've just been
They're not that bad, but here's the thing.
I hate Doritos.
Here's the thing. There's Taco Bell tacos.
And then
there's
tacos.
real tacos.
I want real tacos, but right now that just made me nauseous, and I'm angry again. I'm angry at the world. Doritos tacos make me hate people.
All right, let's travel the world and check out some release dates.
Wow. Okay. So this week we've got a few good games coming out. Starting off with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One release of Rayman Legends. They'll be coming out this week. NASCAR 14 on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze coming out on that Friday. And then, of course, the biggest game of February, in my opinion, Earth Defense Force 2025 coming out on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Oh, finally.
Wow. Alrighty. It's starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, moving on to Japan, guess what? Japan actually has a really huge week this week because on February 22nd, the PlayStation 4 is out.
Yay, Japan.
So Japan, we finally get to read PlayStation 4 release dates for Japan because they are getting the PlayStation 4 on Saturday. So there you go. So yes, coming out this week on the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4. And with that, you can get like a vertical stand. You can get the camera, supposedly. And I'm thinking thinking you got all of the leftover, or I'm thinking you got all the inventory that they're not making in the U.S. right now, so enjoy that. And here are some of the games you can check out in Japan. Drive Club is on the list, supposedly. So I guess that's actually happening in Japan, so I'm hoping we're getting it over here soon, too.
No, it's not happening.
Really? All right, because it's still on the list here for February 22nd, so... But coming out as well in Japan, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, DualShock controllers in black, red, blue, and a little charger stand for those two, FIFA 14 World Class Soccer, Killzone Shadowfall, Knack, NBA 2K4. Now, wait a minute. Aren't they getting Knack for free? I wonder why they're having a separate release of Knack. I thought Knack was being bundled in. Maybe it's a PlayStation Plus thing. NBA 2K14, Need for Speed Rivals, Nobunaga no Yabu Sozu comes out as well. And let's see, what else do they get? Ryu ga Gotoku Ishin comes out from Sega, and Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. And I don't know why Watch Dogs is on the list. There's no way that's coming out, but for some reason that's on my list. But I think that is a falsity. I think that just hasn't been updated. On the PlayStation 3 this week, Strider comes out in Japan. The new Strider game. Strider Hiryu is what they're calling it. Hiryu is what they're calling it in Japan. There's a regular and limited edition.
What?
Ryu ga Gotoku Ishin comes out there as well. Far Cry 3 gets a price reduction, and on the PlayStation 3, Shin Kohime Muso Otome Taisen Sangokushi Engi comes out this week. So check that out on the PlayStation.
Little Princess what?
On the Xbox 360 this week, nothing. On the Vita this week, not a lot. Cho no Doku Hana no Kusari Taishu Iroki Ibun comes out from Prototype. I'm trying to see what game that might be. Of course, the website's not working for me right now, so I can't get any more on that game. Let's see the Wii U. Nothing on the Wii U this week. And the 3DS gets Kuroko no Basuke Shorei no Kisuke comes out from Bandai Namco. So there you go, your Japanese release dates. Enjoy your PS4, Japan.
There's some games coming out in the UK, but my list has not decided to load for me. So
yeah, suddenly we're having it. Are we still broadcasting?
Yeah, we are.
Supposedly we are.
Okay,
Right.
on the 18th we have Banished for PC and Ikaruga for PC. On the 19th we have Strider. Yay. On everything, and I'm going to have every version of it ever, and on the PC. On the 20th, we have Blue Eden for iPhone, which the name sounds cool. I don't know what it's about. There's also Men of War Assault Squad 2, but I don't have to see why it has to be so patriarchy focused. And Weapon Shop de Omas. On the 21st, wow, this is a pretty busy week over in the UK. We have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Earth Defense Force 2025, Rayman Legends on various variouses. That's it. You know, Rob, women can be of war too. Why does it have to be Men of War?
Maybe that'll be the sequel. All right. Just like Ms. Pac-Man.
See, now I'm coming up with subtitles for it. It'd be Women of War. Fuck shit up. I'd make that game. I'd play that game.
All right. Moving on. Loki.
All right. So there was another announcement this week, not necessarily from Nintendo, but Sony. They had a press event where they showed off some PlayStation 4 games coming out and also announced that, guess what, that redesigned Vita is going to be coming over here as well in April, I believe. With they're going to have Borderlands 2 launching with that, or at least a special Borderlands 2 bundle. So that'll be coming out for $199 as well as an 8GB memory card. And so that's kind of cool. And then, of course, with that, I say, oh, yeah, it actually includes all the DLC, too. So that's a pretty good deal. And then I'm not sure how much the system is by itself. I'm assuming that you can get it without buying Borderlands 2, but probably slightly cheaper than that. But it's 20% slimmer, 15% lighter, and has just a LCD screen instead of the OLED screen. So, kind of neat. I don't know if that's going to necessarily help drive the Vita, but I know that games like Borderlands 2 probably will help.
All right. Do you think folks are going to actually buy that new Vita model here?
Maybe. I don't know. If they're looking for something smaller, perhaps. I'm not really sure. Probably if they put out the new version, maybe the old version will be dropping in price.
I think so. Yeah, I think certainly price is a big key driver of this stuff. Borderlands 2 on Vita, I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but I also sort of think that most people who wanted to play Borderlands probably have by now. I mean, they gave it away for free on PlayStation Plus, or I think it's still there for free. So it seems like it's almost too late to put it out on the Vita. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but it's still a good handheld. If you want to take it with you, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, added to Steam this week, tags. Tags came to the Steam store this week, but here's what's interesting about it. It's actually a crowdsourced tag system. They're not like official tags. So
I'm sure that'll be effective then.
Well, it's had some very interesting effects because like people have tagged things with very interesting things. But yeah, it's all kind of like crowdsourced. So you can suggest tags and you can tag things yourself, that this is an action game or a hardcore game or whatever, or you can come up with your own inventive tag. You can browse by popular tags. You can also look at tags that are recommended for you, I guess, based on some type of algorithm behind the scenes. It is localized for various languages, so you can tag in, I know Steam is very big in Russia, in big part thanks to Dota 2, and, other languages as well, so you can tag in those languages. And yeah, looking at it, what your friends have tagged things with and so forth. So it is in beta right now, but it's not like one of those invite-only things. It's just kind of out there, and you can check that out, the Steam tags. So there you go. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to a day when we didn't really have a way to tag games. It was just like, which drawer are you going to put this in, or which bin are you going to throw this game in?
Tagging games meant that you took spray paint to a billboard,
or you took masking. You took masking tape and you put it on the NES cartridge,
and you wrote your name on it.
Exactly. It's the classic game of the week. Darkstalker's going to dive into the gaming vault and find a game that she thinks, hey, you kids should be checking this game out, because if you don't, you suck or something.
Seriously, what's up with you kids?
All
Get
right.
off my lawn, play it.
Here it is, the classic game of the week. Darkstalker, what'd you pick?
I sure do like my compile games, don't I, Rob?
You sure do like your compile games.
This one is Golvelius, which Well, the technical name
That was loud. Sorry, guys.
is Mao Govelius, which is Devil Govelius. It was an action-adventure game that was done for the MSX, developed by Compile and released in 1987. Then Sega licensed it in 88 and did a remake of it for the Sega Master System, which was the Mark III in Japan. And that's the version that actually this music is coming from, because I couldn't find the MSX one. And then later on, Compile also did a remake for the MSX2 that was called Shin Mao Govelius, which was True Devil Govelius. Although, is that true or new? I don't know. Anyway, it had, it looks like the Sega Master System version, but had different layouts. Now, the thing about this game is that it actually was announced that it would be coming out on the iOS platform in 2009. I actually haven't seen if it actually did, but there was a spin-off game that's called Super Cooks that was released in 1989 with the Disk Station Special Rokugo. So yeah, it's kind of a neat little game. I mean, basically, this game, it got I have to say, the American artwork is just another one of the sufferers of the really bad 80s style, let's change the awesome artwork that it had into shit. But anyway, the game has got like some really interesting type of motion mechanics in it.
Yeah, can I just say this whole thing we're looking at right now in the video, where the power bar and the gold and everything's like scrolling on the screen repeatedly.
The whole level itself is scrolling.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And see, that's one of the things, like when you're exploring like your overworld, it's just the standard, above ground thing. Then you have these levels that are like this, that Rob was describing, where it's almost like you're playing a scrolling shooter.
Yeah, it's like a shooter, but with like a sword and shield type of thing.
It is Compile. I mean, hello.
True.
But you're just walking around stabbing things, and then killing gigantic, cute-looking, weird bats. The other types of levels that you have in here are side-scrolling levels, platform style, where, like, one of the first ones that you do is the one with the giant red snake in it, and you shoot all the little cute baby snakes, and the red snake just looks at you disapprovingly, and then you stab him in the face and he dies, which is what you're supposed to do with snakes, apparently. Then, As you go through it, I mean, the way to make it through this game is to grind, and find your shopkeepers, buy stuff. You can get potions to extend your life meter. You get Bibles, and Bibles increase the amount of gold you can carry, which is very apt of religion in the United States. I wonder if that's the same all over the world. But it's just really a grind-heavy game. But it's got different... it's pretty straightforward in how you play it. It doesn't really have a lot of the puzzle solving stuff. It's just really, you have the side-scrolling stages, you have the overhead stages. Sorry. And also, once you scroll the screen, you can't backtrack, so you have to keep going forward. And you can really get stuck in tight places, if you've got your screen scrolled just the wrong way. But you do have a big, huge world to explore. And it's really detailed. It really makes the most of the capabilities of the, definitely the Master System at the time. And like I said, I tried to find some more of the MSX version. The MSX2 Golvelia sequel is actually really, really nice as well. And I mean, and some of the writing in it is like super, super funny. There's even a place where... you find a woman, and she's mistranslated, and it says, "Why, thou art but a moron of the first class. Hit the road." And it's just a fun little game, and like even the levels have some fun type of things thrown in here and there, and in the snake level, for example, when you get to the end of it, there's actually like an arrow built into the ground when you get past the snake. You're in the one with the big snakes. But keep in mind, the other stuff that Compile did, they did the Alest series, they did Zanak, which I've covered, Puyo Puyo. They did Mado Monogatari for, if you're looking, again, to RPGs. But really, Golvelius is, I'd even say it's probably got to be one of the unsung classics of the adventure RPG genre. And yeah, it did actually come out on iOS, so I knew about it, but I didn't get it, so I actually didn't see if it was available. But it's the Sega Master System version that has touch controls. So definitely go get the game. It's pretty neat. It's Golvelius.
All right.
Devil Golvelius.
There it is, your classic game of the week, Golvelius. For the Sega Master System is what we're looking at here in studio, but MSX sounds like probably the definitive version there.
Actually, for the one that most people would have seen would have been the Master System one.
Fair. Well, here anyway.
No. It, from what I understand, because it was the touched-up graphical one, it ended up being one of the more notable ones. So, but yeah, but I mean, the MSX was also, of course, super popular. So, but I've got the game.
Cool.
It's a fun little game.
All right, there it is, your classic game of the week. Not one I'm super familiar with, I got to be honest. So that was pretty cool to learn something new tonight in the classic game of the week segment.
I aim to educate.
Well, we've got plenty more show to come, some rapid-fire news, the Fugal question of the week, the mailbag, and plenty more to come. We'll be back in just a little bit with more of Orange Lounge Radio right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to Orange Lounge Radio, live here on February the 16th of 2014 with the 540th episode of our show. And we've been talking a little bit about Flappy Vogue and Dark Sakura. She just don't give a fuck tonight.
No, not a single fuck has been, is being, or will be given.
Because she is taco-less, and this is upsetting.
No, you know what it is? Is that like the last 2 days I've completely carb-fested.
Oh,
because
that sounds awesome.
It was awesome. I had choco pon and cream pon and anpon. I love anpon. And chocolate, lots of chocolate, and beer, lots of beer. I love beer. I had a legit cheeseburger with a bun.
Did you see that Jelly Belly is doing a beer flavor?
Don't tell me these things. They supported what's his fuck. So I'm not.
Yeah, I know they're kind of crappy, but jelly beans
people don't get my money.
Jelly beans are really good though.
Jelly Bellies are really good. Other jelly beans that are like made of gummy material, they suck. I can't eat them because I'm allergic to them.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I used to love, like on Easter, because that's like when you get all those like types of jelly beans. I used to love getting the licorice ones; are my favorite. And some people are
you and Dan can go hide in licorice land and eat that shit far away from me.
It's the Dutch. Yeah. It's got to be a Dutch thing, is it? I don't know. I need to ask Sil. I'm bringing her up for the second time on tonight's show, but that's okay.
I love Sil. I say that every time you mention Sil too.
I don't like licorice.
You don't like black? Are you
but
Dutch,
you're not
Loki?
Dutch.
No, I'm not Dutch.
Well, then maybe that's the thing.
I'm not Dutch, but I have a Dutch name because of Dan. Dang it. I hate Starbursts a lot, Brad, from Pod Culture, because they have the stuff in it I'm allergic to, so they make me vomit.
The jelly beans are really good, though. He's right. The Starburst
they're the same
jelly beans.
stuff. They make me vomit.
They're not. Well, I don't know. They don't taste like, they don't have the texture of Starburst at all.
But the only ones I can actually eat are the ones that are actually the crystallized, like the Jelly Bellies are.
They seem more like Jelly Bellies to me than regular jelly beans, but I don't know. I wouldn't risk it. It's not worth risking it. They're not that good.
No, it's not worth risking it.
Yeah, there you go.
But Dan, I do actually buy him licorice. Even though
Alan buys me licorice,
even though I cannot stand the smell of it, he is respectful enough to be gracious when I sacrifice my olfactory senses to bring him a treat. He is kind enough to take it to work and not eat it in front of me.
Alan will do this. He will say, "I went to the store and I got you a surprise." And it's like, it's either like it's Good and Plenty, which I really like, or like the Australian licorice that they sell at the store. But to be fair, I will also buy him mayonnaise. That's love. That is love.
I bought Dan something awesome. You'll hate it, but I bought him cool because I love him. I also can't be around sriracha because the smell makes my nose break out.
Oh yeah.
If I smell it showing, I got him sriracha mayonnaise.
Ugh.
He is a happy Dan.
No thanks.
I can't have Swedish fish either because they totally just make me.
Oh, Swedish fish are the bomb.
Yuck.
All right. Anyway, we could.
And I hate absinthe.
We could talk about candy all night long. I did not have absinthe until
you know what
Dragon Con this year.
You know what I brought you last week, and I don't know if you had any of it.
I haven't, but I think Alan did.
I'm making a full bottle of vanilla vodka right now.
Nice. All right, look, we could talk about booze. We could talk about candy. We got the people
You're
here.
listening to Orange Booze Radio. We're now Cointro Radio.
All right.
It's orange liqueur.
Let's get back into games with the rapid fire news segment. Loki, start us off.
All right. So, first up, South Park. It's been pushed back and back and back and back. It's finally gone gold. So, South Park: The Stick of Truth will actually be releasing on March 6th, which is only a few weeks away. And they even teased about 13 minutes of gameplay, and it looks fantastic. So that'll be coming out on current gen systems and on PC. It looks like was it the 6th is also a European date. I want to say maybe coming out on the 4th over here. Yeah, the 4th of March for North America, the 6th for Europe. And then let's see, Gearbox has announced their final DLC for Borderlands 2. And Borderlands 2's going to be getting 2 campaigns. For first, they was let's see here, featuring Sir Hamlock, and it's.
Did we lose Loki? We lost you, Loki. I don't know if it's your magic mute button. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
That's weird.
This live thing is weird. Okay, no, keep going. We lost you for a minute. That was weird.
That's strange. Okay, yeah. So they have a couple new pieces of DLC. One is Sir Hamlock versus the son of Crawlermax. That's supposed to be coming out, I think, later this year. And then let's see, they had another one for Valentine's Day recently that was. See. Oh, I'm sorry. That is the final Borderlands DLC. I was going to say they had one more that just came out. It was for Valentine's Day, featuring Mad Moxie and the 2 rival clans that were in Borderlands 2. The I can't remember their names. It's kind of like some hillbilly clans in there, and so you had to kind of bring them together with some forbidden wedding thing. It was pretty funny, but they put that out for Valentine's Day. But this one, I don't think they've given a date yet when this is supposed to be coming out. But it's only supposed to be $2.99. Oh, April 5th. So $2.99 on April 5th.
All right.
So, wow, they've been really. Considering that this game came out in 2012, they've really supported it with some DLC. That's for sure. All right, and then let's see. I was going to say, last but not least, we have. The Witcher 3 is going to be a possibility on Linux. That's assuming how well Steam OS does. If it ends up being popular enough, they will go ahead and create a version for Steam boxes and Steam OS. But their comment, of course, was first of all, we have a lot of respect for Steam, and we think they are very, very good business guys and good gamer-friendly guys, and that's really, really important. We like what they're doing with the Steam box, and if they're able to deliver a cool console, definitely we are interested in having a game there. One of the reasons we have not released Witcher on Linux is that the most probably to have to address 5 different versions of Linux, and this is always terrible to support quality of the game afterwards. The patches, the updates, and everything. If Steam will deliver a constant Linux environment and call it SteamOS or anything like that, we'd love to have our games there because, most of the people play our games, or the more people that play our games, the better for us. So, cool. We'll have to see how that turns out, and maybe we'll get Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077 or something like that.
I wonder how some of the Linux fans feel about that, though, that, they're waiting for SteamOS to kind of unify it when maybe people are attracted to Linux because it's not that way. You know what I mean? So, All right. Well, moving on with some more news. A very interesting statement from Mutant Mudds Deluxe. I don't know if you have played this game. It's on the 3DS and it's on the Wii U. It's on Steam and all this. But the developer Renegade Kid says he has seen the best sales for Mutant Mudds Deluxe on Wii U. which might be surprising. Better than PSN and Steam combined. He mentioned this on Twitter. And there was also a follow-up tweet that said the 3DS was undoubtedly the most popular platform for Mutant Mudds Deluxe, which was a free content download on the original Mutant Mudds game for the 3DS. But, yeah, apparently it's doing very, very well on Wii U, so go figure. I wonder if that's just because there's not a lot else available there. I don't know. All right. But, yeah. Anyhow, going on to other games, these are some real classics that are coming to Steam. Descent. You remember Descent?
I had Descent on 14 discs.
Right. Please insert disc 1. Please insert disc 2.
No. I told you about my friend Avery in Alabama, right?
Probably a while
Who
ago,
built the chair that had, like, 2 full-size joysticks, extra things, and all this just so he could play Descent.
That's awesome.
I know Descent.
But yeah, it goes full 360 degree. It's like Doom in 360. That's kind of what Descent is. So it's awesome. It is actually now on Steam. It's not coming to Steam. It is now on Steam. 350. So no more 14 discs.
Must have.
Just digital download.
Must shoot everything.
There it is. Descent, by the way, guess how old Descent is? Uh-oh.
Old as balls.
19 years old. Older than this show, so yes.
Older than some of our listeners.
All right, yeah. Also coming to Steam, however, Darkstalker, I wouldn't hit the buy button on Descent just yet because then you may not have the money for Ikaruga is coming out on Steam.
Do you know how many freaking copies of Ikaruga I have?
Well, what's one more?
Dan will be the one getting that. I actually already bought Blaze Blue.
That will be coming out actually on February 18th, so you have a couple more days. But yeah, as you might remember, Ikaruga, Dreamcast, GameCube, 360, and the Steam version, by the way, is based on the 360 release. And you can just plug in a 360 controller via USB, and voila, it'll magically work. Imagine that.
You know what's funny? Dan needs to just put on playthroughs of Ikaruga so he could take a nap. Because the music is so good.
Very interesting little experiment going on at Twitch TV, something called Twitch Plays Pokemon. Yes, it's where you have this Twitch stream, but you actually have the viewers can control the hero of Pokemon Red and Blue by actually putting commands in the chat window. And at one point, there was 10,000 viewers after 2 days of play, and people just typing A, B, up, down, and so forth. And the Pokemon Master, of course, can't. He just runs around in circles a lot of the time because people can't seem to coordinate how to do it. But, yeah. Apparently, though, viewers did get far enough to get past Misty, the second gym leader, so it's not all just running around in circles. So maybe late at night, people have been able to coordinate a little better and be able to battle Misty. I don't know if it's still going. I think it is.
You know what? I want to battle Misty for real. We need to get her back on the show so we can battle.
October, I believe, is when.
Okay, you better come with all of your Pokemon. I'm kidding.
I'm trying to see if the video will come up. Oh, God, I probably broke our home stream trying to pull this up. That was not. Okay, yes, it's still going. That was it.
Good Lord.
That's all you get. That slowed my computer to a crawl there. I didn't want to lose our own feed. All right, and yeah, so an interesting little experiment. Who knows what game will come next after that. ActDeft says the update is they currently have 4 gym badges. So they might actually beat the game. Who knows? Dark Soccer, your turn.
There's some stuff. First of all, this one makes me stupidly happy. Because what is one game that I have always just gone completely off about its awesome-tasticness? Fucking drunken robot pornography. Hell yeah. So, on February 19th, it is going live. I have been playing in the early access. That game is fucking amazing, and it's fucking hard. So it was made by a company called Dejoban, and it's just awesome. I mean, you can basically just shoot them with everything, and you get it's really a lot of like maybe a cross between Oratorio Tangram, Virtual On, and Jumping Flash and games like that, but it's crazy, and the music is amazing. It's going to retail for $15, but it may have a Steam discount on launch day. Everyone get this game. It is awesome. And also, there is another game coming out for the Dreamcast. It's Neo XYX. that is another shooting game. Yay! So, I mean, the Dreamcast is 15 years old. Actually, it's a Neo Zyxu. This is how it's pronounced, so I said it incorrectly. And it's like Truxton and Batsugun. So it's like those other arcade games, so yay. And I want. Also, Sonic Boom. I don't know how I feel about this because Roid Knuckles is just not attractive. There is actually an interview out that has some details about it. So it's going to be, they're going to be using the Wii U gamepad for a map upgrades and some other functions that they have not completely unveiled. And then all the levels are connected by story and location. It's supposed to be more organically challenging. It's an adventure style with currency and upgrades. And yeah, I still don't know how I feel about it. So, but they are taking inspiration from Sonic 2, Sonic Adventure, and Sonic Generations, and those were all good games. So maybe it'd be fun. It could be crap too. So I'm just being honest. It's a night of honesty. It could be crap, but it might not be.
It might be okay. We'll see. Are you looking more? Well, I guess the question would be: are you looking less forward to the game or the cartoon?
I might just hide under my bed when the cartoon comes out.
Cartoon didn't look that bad. I think the cartoon's probably going to be better than the game. I mean, because their games haven't really been that great to begin with. Oh, and it's Nintendo exclusive, so I'm sure that'll sell some more Wii U systems, right?
Yeah, you never know. Kids.
Maybe.
What if
do kids even care about Sonic, though? That's the thing. Is like, does anyone care anymore about that series?
It looks like really bad fan art. It's just... okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. It happens.
I can't right now. I really have lost the ability to can, so let's continue.
All right, I'm going to get to the Fugle question of the week, but for whatever reason, I didn't. I was trying to buy myself a little time because I don't have my little bumper.
Well, you know what else I could say since we're having a night of honesty?
Sure, why not?
I think that the best ever Sonic thing that has ever come out of anything in the newer era that they did something different with was Sonic Adventure. And then Sonic Adventure 2 came out, and it was kind of turd-like. I mean, it had some fun parts, but it was kind of turd-like. But Sonic Generations was really good. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, sometimes they smoke, like, something really good and have a great Sonic game. And then sometimes you just get that bad batch of,
Sonic 2006.
Of, like, tainted heroin.
Sonic the Bad Batch.
Yeah, and they make Sonic the Bad Batch. It's, like, tainted.
All right.
Tainted Sonic.
I found bumper music, so let's get to the
How was my buying time, Rob?
It was good. It was
Okay.
good.
Hey, it's not a show if we don't talk about tainted heroin.
You take Facebook and Google Plus and slam those words together, you get Fugle. It's the Fugle question of the week, and this week is a little more about classic games. Inspired a little bit by our own Classic Game of the Week segment. Look, we have all heard of Super Mario Brothers and Alex Kidd, Legend of Zelda, Phantasy Star. What do you think, however, is a game from the NES and Sega Master System era that has been grossly neglected by time? Let's get to some of the answers here. Ragenator says, most of the good ones haven't been neglected, but Mike Tyson's Punch-Out could have used more sequels. Well, there were two. There was the one on the Super Nintendo, and then they did a Wii one. So some people forget about the Wii one.
You can't have Mike Tyson's name on it anymore because he's crazy.
That's right. Alternatively, TNC Surf Designs, while being somewhat mediocre, could have seen some more love. Nemesis 47 says it's a Japanese import game on the Genesis, but one that comes to mind is Pulseman on the system, along with Rystar and Mutant League. I said Master System, not Genesis, but I guess I'll accept it anyway because I just read it. Awesome Unicorn says, Legend of the Ghost Lion. It was an old NES RPG starring a female protagonist, and it could have created a much larger presence for serious games with a girly edge if others had followed his lead. Kane says, Caveman Olympics for the NES. How else are you supposed to hit your friend with a stick? But if he says...
With a stick?
But if he says, if we're just going by that time period in general, how about a Zork remake? Dude, Zork was pretty awesome. I wonder who owns the rights to that now. I'm sure it's on Wikipedia or something. But then there was like the Zork, that first CD-ROM game, Zork Returns. There was like Zork Grand Inquisition and all that stuff. For the short time that GameTap was really cool, like I played all those Zork games again on there because Zork is cool.
Cool.
Emily C. says Marble Madness is due for a reboot. It could be enhanced with the capabilities of the Wii U or 3DS. Check out a game on the Wii that would actually work on the Wii U called Kororimpa, because this came up on the show not that long ago. I think Marble Madness is the classic game of the week, but Kororimpa is very, very similar.
Well, Kororimpa is more like Super Monkey Ball, I think.
Oh, that's a good point too. Well, Super Monkey Ball in turn is very similar too. So, but yes, Marble Madness was a good game. Dark Tetsuya says Crystallis. SNK should stop with the fighting game nonsense and give us a sequel. Daniel S. replied and said, "Where are my Lolo games at?" Where did Lolo go? Did Lolo and Lala get married and go to Puzzle
They got
Heaven?
stumped flat. Now they're being used for bingo.
Degenerate Johnny says, "Bad news baseball. There's something about having pink umpires in this game that made it so addicting. Not to mention, I believe this was the only baseball game in which there were teams for both men and women. If we had the Bad News series today, I would come back to the sports gaming genre." I thought that was Baseball Stars. Maybe it was both.
Is it like the Bad News Bears?
I think it's inspired without copying, yes. So, let's see. Harold the Wonder Dog replied and said, "Star Tropics."
Yes.
There wasn't Star Tropics 2 like one of the very last NES
Zoda's
games?
Revenge, yeah.
But then that was it.
I'm surprised you haven't rebooted that franchise.
All right. Osfer with another Sega Genesis answer. What?
Act Def said that Lolo and Lala are Kirby characters.
Are they really? I didn't realize that. I guess they do because it's the same studio that ended up making them. But
Aren't they like Lolo and La La La?
I guess that's true. Yeah, they are. They're like the king and the queen or something like that. So anyway, moving on. We have. Did I say Osfer said Rystar? So let's see. Which, by the way, is another Genesis answer. Shame. Katsuhiko J says Jackal and Iron Tank deserve a sequel or reboot.
That's not a real name, so you can say the full thing.
Oh, well, look.
It's after an anime.
Anyway. SG100 Matt says Blades of Steel. It's probably the most important sports game of its time, and still that one sports game that people don't mind playing. The last Blades of Steel game was on the N64. I didn't even realize I had an N64. But a reboot of the classic will be well received. Chigger says EVO. I love that game, and our Mormon friends weren't allowed to play it because it was promoting evolution. Really? Really?
That game is pretty awesome, though.
Get this. Arcadian 42.
I miss him.
Well, get this. He does not know what was going to be on the show tonight in advance. You know what his answer was? Golvelius. So there you go, Arcadian 42.
You win some air.
You win. He did mention it has some pretty memorable music.
It does have good music.
Oh, there you go.
It's fucking weird.
Ryan B. replied and said, I was also going to say Star Tropics, but here's a few more. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, Battletoads, Casino Kid, Wall Street Kid, and River City Ransom. That's a pretty lengthy list. But yeah, those Capcom Disney games were the bomb. Well, they did end up doing DuckTales. So if maybe there's a chance, Ryan, there's a chance.
For the record, I'm actually looking to see if Golvelius is still in the store.
Dr. Noir says the very first Western RPG I played was Sword and Sorcery, and the character customization and the horribly difficult puzzles made for a very exciting challenge.
It is, and it's only $2.
Hitstun says, let's see a Sunsoft NES compilation. Everybody knows Blaster Master and the Batman games, but more people should play Super Spy Hunter. Known as Battle Formula in Japan, its aimable second gun pushed vehicular combat to its limits. At the title screen, press A, B, select start to play a roulette game to decide how many lives you start with. You might have up to 12 lives, but you might be stuck with just one life. You know, it was another Sunsoft NES game that came up on Twitter today in random conversation.
Adventure Island?
No, that wasn't Sunsoft.
Wasn't
that
it?
was no.
That was
Hal the Bee Hudson. The Bees.
Yeah.
Fester's Quest.
Yes.
Which was basically Blaster Master's overhead stuff without the car stuff, which kind of made it not as good, but yeah. Dando said, I'd have to say River City Ransom and Marble Madness. There was a great GBA remake of River City Ransom, but I need more. Renee said on the NES, Wampum, which is a Native American-themed Mega Man clone. I didn't realize. Actually, no, I think I have heard of that game. And Amanda R. replied and said the Lufia series. So there you go.
Sega CD.
Very good answers over on Facebook. But wait, there's more, because we have to get to the Google Plus answers, of which we have just a handful here. Flacco Jones, who was going to be here tonight, but got sick. So get better soon, Flacco.
Stop getting the plague.
Yeah, we will have him on the show in the future. He was supposed to be here tonight, but sadly couldn't make it. Flacco Jones said, I loved the NES ports of the Mac Venture games, but while most people liked Uninvited or Shadowgate most, my favorite was Deja Vu. Still one of my all-time favorite games despite the cheap deaths. Well, they are doing a Shadowgate remake for what it's worth. I know Deja Vu is your favorite, but they had that Kickstarter for Shadowgate. So that's coming soon. I kicked like $60 to that game or something to get my name in the credits. So
yeah,
excited to see that.
Oh my God. It just occurred to me. I can afford to kickstart now.
Awesome. Well, change your password though, because
yeah, and all that
all that fuckery.
I don't even think I've ever bought anything on there yet.
Reddertainment says Skate or Die.
Oh, God, that game.
Didn't they have Ski or Die? Was
I thought they did.
Kind of the sequel. I think they did. There was Ski or Die. I think came out later. So, and lastly, Act F says RC Pro-Am. That game doesn't get the love it deserves. It's fun and challenging, and it could seriously use a new version.
I thought from what you were about to say, it seriously needed a neutering.
Well, you guys, those were really good answers all around, but I'm going to express my disappointment with all of you.
None of them said the game.
None of them said the correct answer.
None of them.
Not a single one of them said the correct answer to this question, which is the Guardian Legend. Fail.
Good Lord.
Loki, would you answer the Guardian Legend as well, or do you have your own answer for that?
Oh, I think Guardian Legend's good.
There you go. That's the
I would
correct
probably
answer.
say
The Guardian Legend.
sure,
More
because I
Space
can't
Harrier.
remember. I like Breakthrough. Breakthrough is kind of fun.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a really great game. Bionic Commando.
Oh, except that new one they did on the 360 and stuff was not that good.
You know what we need a new one of?
Don't care. I got them on PC too during the Steam sale.
But the
Both
remakes,
of them.
the remakes were really good. Yeah, Dark Sakura?
A new Fantasy Zone.
Ah, that'd be fun.
Yep.
There you go.
And not just the re-releases like they did with the Sega Ages.
Mm-hmm.
We need a new Fantasy Zone.
I would love to see a game I was randomly thinking about today was Life Force, or Salamander, if you will. We haven't really seen that series in a while, so I'd like to see that.
But we're getting other Gradius stuff.
Have we? When was the last time we had a Gradius game?
5 was the last. No, Gradius 5 was the last
That
one.
was a while ago. That was PlayStation
Yeah.
2, right? That was a while
Yeah.
ago. That's what I want. Anyhow, but Konami would rather make 2-hour Metal Gear games. Anyhow.
2-hour? Two Metal Gear games with 2-hour endings.
Well, no, there was a whole controversy last week about it's basically the prologue game. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. It's old news.
Yeah.
They said it's like 4 hours now. I think they had another playthrough that didn't do any of the side stuff, and they said 4 hours.
Oh, well. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on with some other news. This week's news, Loki. This week's news.
This week's news? Okay, I'll try. So we talked about, I think, before that there was some information leaked out about a bunch of different things that were supposed to be coming out, and this is from NeoGAF and stuff, and one of which was the Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, kind of like the HD remake that they did of Halo 1. Well, now there's even more fuel to that's supposed to be coming out this year, and probably I think they said November was the original leak, and this is coming from the actual voice actor for Master Chief, saying that there's going to be a new game, something like I wouldn't expect anything until 2015 for Halo 5. It says, but what you can look forward to this year is an anniversary edition of Halo 2. So.
Well, now, what's interesting about this being pretty much confirmed is that we had those rumors a few weeks ago from that, the Xbox leak or whatever that was posted on NeoGAF, and it had all this other stuff.
Yeah, was it
it was all the other
N-Boat or S-Boat or something like that.
The discless Xbox One and all this stuff. And it does sort of make you go, that's one. But I remember being a little bit critical of that post in the past because I was like, these are all safe bets. it's making. So wouldn't Halo 2 Anniversary Edition be kind of a safe bet too? Yeah, but it's still okay. It's interesting. So it gets that little post gets a little more credit, but I'm still a little so.
Yeah.
Bobby Blackwolf in our chat room over at live.vognetwork.com said it was Seaboat, and I think it turned out that Seaboat was a mod who hated Microsoft. They unearthed all that crap a few weeks ago, I think. Oh, yeah. Internet drama.
Girl. That's all I have to say.
The internet has more drama than Dark Sakura's Animal Crossing Village, and that's saying something right there.
My village is pretty... Well, now that bitch Ed's gone, then I don't have any more drama.
I don't know, Dark Sakura. You've been...
except for Isabel's crack habit, because, she never sleeps.
That too.
I love Isabel. I really do.
All right. Well, there was a little exploit on PlayStation Network this week where somebody was able to exploit the 14-day PlayStation Plus trial subscription into about a 21-year subscription. Basically, they signed in and they got the free 14 plus the 14-day PS Plus trial, and they spammed the offer over and over and over again. They did this through the PlayStation 4. And, now this guy is a member till 2035. There has not been really a comment from Sony on this yet. I imagine they had to have closed this loophole up by now. But, you can't already have a membership in order to see this. So if you're already a PlayStation Plus member, you can't do this. Plus, if a bunch of people jump in on this, then Sony's really going to crack down. They're going to take away all those trials. But it does beg the question, like, how the hell did something this easy get exploited like this? I mean, this doesn't seem that hard that you could take a 14-day trial, which I guess was specifically branded for Outlast, and make it go on and on and on and on. I mean, doesn't this get tested somewhere along the line? Huh? Loki, did you try to extend your... Oh, you don't have a PlayStation 4 though yet, huh?
Did you, Rob? Did you?
I didn't try it, and I don't know. It would be wrong. Stealing is wrong.
But it's an experiment for news.
That's true. I'm pretty sure it's.
You're doing it for the people.
I know.
I'm just being honest.
I want to see what happens next week though. If that guy got it all taken away, or if he got the ban hammer.
Probably a combination.
We ban you. Although I mean, he didn't hack it. He just exploited it. There's a huge difference. If you just abuse something that was there for the taking, did he really steal anything? It's an ethical question.
They will say yes.
They will say yes, but we'll see. All right, moving on. Dark Sakura.
Oh, I got stuff for you. There is a guy in Oslo who killed a bunch of people once. And so he's in prison now. His name is Anders Breivik, which I'm just laughing because it's Anders for anyone who's played Dragon Age 2. Because of the character in there also went crazy. Anyway, he killed 77 people in Oslo, Norway. And he's calling himself a human rights activist now because he's complaining that he only gets to play kids' video games while the other inmates gets to play grown-up video games. He's quoted as saying, "Other inmates have access to adult games while I only have the right to play less interesting kids' games. One example is Rayman Revolution, a game aimed at 3-year-olds. He says he behaves better than most prisoners and deserves more liberties because of this, and that he considers himself a human rights activist. So you don't give people the right to kill people. I mean, you don't give people the right to live. You take that away from them, but you think you get rights to play video games that you want to. You want to know what's also shitty about this? Uh-huh. He's serving a 21-year sentence, which is the maximum in Norway.
Isn't this the guy that killed all those kids that were at like the leadership camp or something? Isn't this that guy? Fuck that guy. Why is he getting to play a video game at all? He should sit in the corner and think about what he's done for a very, very, very long time, like eternity.
According to Norway, that's 21 years.
Oh, my God.
But his other complaint is that the chair in his cell is not up to his standards, and he would like to have access to a PC instead of a typewriter. Guess what? Too bad.
Someone send this guy to prison in Korea, okay?
North Korea.
I'm sorry, specifically North Korea. My bad.
And, I'm going to look this guy up, so keep going, and I'm going to look him up to make sure this is who I think it is.
I'm pretty sure. I see the picture there. I'm pretty sure it's that guy. What an ass.
Okay.
So, yeah, and the chat room is backing me up there. SJ100 Matt says, yes, it is Robin. SJ100 Matt also says, I'm sorry, but why are any of them playing games to begin with?
Marissa made a good point that they renew the sentences for 5 years at a time if they're determined to be a danger to society, which, yeah, if you kill that many people. He bombed government buildings in Oslo.
Yeah.
And then he had the mass shooting at the Workers' Youth League.
Yeah, no. This guy needs to not be playing video games at all. That's a privilege.
Yeah.
Weird.
He also is opposed to feminism and is an extreme Zionist, which gives all the rest of the people who are Zionists a bad name.
And is not somebody whose name should ever be uttered again. He should be forgotten about.
Banned from OLR.
Yeah. I mean...
Banned from everything.
Gross.
Yuck.
All right.
Night of honesty, scorpions up the ass.
Let's talk about someone a bit more sane, Loki.
All right. Peter Molyneux basically saying that, I think this is probably coming from the fact that he was looking at the Dungeon Keeper, mobile game, and just kind of like, yeah, what did they do to my game? But basically saying that Goddess is going to be not a free-to-play game, but an invest-to-play game. Basically saying, there cannot be a term that is less true. What we want is a new term, and that term is more like invest-to-play. What we're really doing is we're tempting people, or what are we really doing? We're tempting people to invest some of their money into the game. And I guess that's kind of basically saying that they're incentivizing people to want to get the in-app purchases or in-game purchases and that kind of stuff. To tempt people to think about being proud to invest. Before we even talk about monetization, we want players to feel like Goddess is a hobby and not just a game. And then, of course, commenting on Dungeon Keeper, yeah, I'm worried about that. But the risks, talking about the free-to-play formula, yeah, I'm worried about that, but the risks are worth taking. We could layer it in. It takes 6 days to build this house, and maybe we would make a shitload of money, but that's not my ambition for games. Yeah, because it was completely broken, that Dungeon Keeper game, and he's got to be disappointed what they did to his original IP.
I thought Goddess was supposed to be like $9.99. Like, why are they now talking about invest to play or whatever? Like, I thought this was a game that always was supposed to be, or are not enough people buying it or something.
I think maybe they want to make more money. Maybe this is kind of like DLC or something.
Maybe. All right. Well, moving on to a story that never seems to die. It's about 38 Studios. Remember when they with all due respect, because I do understand that Kurt Schilling a couple weeks ago had announced that he had cancer. Which sucks. Fuck cancer. Period. So I'm not saying all this to be mean. I'm just saying this to be very matter of fact about the 38 Studios settlement bill, because obviously 38 Studios. There's not really a nice way for me to put it. It failed spectacularly, and a lot of money, was put up by the state, and it's kind of one of those tough lessons learned, and, they didn't make it back. So, anyhow, the Rhode Island House of Representatives actually passed this bill that's going to move on this out-of-court settlement. The bill passed in a vote of 53 to 16. It will protect defendants who settle from lawsuits filed by co-defendants over the damages those co-defendants are found liable for. So, in other words, the bill encourages settlements and so forth. So if a 38 Studios person settles with the state, they can't get those damages from any other 38 Studios official tied up in proceedings. So that bill is going to be signed. That bill goes along with the default on the $75 million loan that they gave to 38 Studios, where the state, I guess, just they default on the loan, and Rhode Island gets off the hook for $12.5 million of payment. So they're just, I guess they basically just passed a bill that said, we're not going to pay the bill.
That's kind of ironic.
Isn't it?
I want to do that.
Isn't that great when government finally does something? And in this case, it is, all right, we're going to vote, majority that we're not going to pay the bills. That's just like the unemployment thing that happened. I won't go there.
I thought that was federal government.
Well, that's state or federal. Neither one of them's working. So, anyhow. It's all broken. Fix it, Dark Sakura. Fix it.
Fuck. How about I just do other stuff?
All right. How about you read some emails? Because every week you guys send us emails. And for one more week, you can send them to mailbag at orangeloungeradio.com. Here we go, the emails. So of note, if you want to be the very last email ever at mailbag at orangeloungeradio.com, this is the week to do it. Do not delay.
Yeah.
But we do have, one email tonight? 2 emails?
We have 2.
2? There was only 1 earlier.
Yeah, well, someone got sneaky.
All right.
Sneaky monkey. Dear OLR, with another Valentine's Day come and gone, I have heard many people discussing their favorite video game relationships. While it's very easy to come up with examples of the types of relationships that will go down in history, side note, Cecil and Rosa forever. Oh. I am writing today about other types of relationships in video games, the relationships that are either doomed or non-existent. Sorry. Personally, my favorite depiction of unrequited love in a video game is from Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistrals. The relationship between the characters of Maxim and Tia has really touched me in the dozen or so times I've played the game. Tia, a small-town crybaby, leaves her life behind to follow the man of her dreams on his quest. Over the first half of the game, Tia has to come to terms with the fact that Maxim always is and always will be an adventurer with no plans of settling down. Soon after Maxim falls for the first leotard-clad battle mage to join the party, Tia decides to move on with her life and give up adventuring. As a child, I've never paid much attention to the character of Tia, but I've been impressed on subsequent playthroughs by the frank depiction of Tia's feelings. So I pose to you this question: what are some of your favorite dysfunctional relationships in video games? Thanks always for the excellent show. Yours truly, Awesome Unicorn.
Well, thanks for being awesome, Awesome Unicorn. Dysfunctional relationships in games. Wow. How about
Chell and GLaDOS.
That's a pretty dysfunctional.
Hey, he said relationship.
That's right.
And relationships can be friendships.
That's right.
They can be parental.
Mm-hmm.
You did not say romantic.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chell and GLaDOS.
Well, how about that whole story in Gone Home? But that wasn't really dysfunctional. It was just kind of sad. How about no, for real though? What about like Mario and Princess Peach? For real. What the heck kind of relationship is that going on there? Like, is it like what is it even? Like, you kind of think it's romantic between Mario and Peach, but then it seems platonic in other games. And wouldn't it, I mean, if the thing between Mario and Peach was romantic, wouldn't it be weird that sometimes it's like his brother that comes in to save the day? Like, is there a whole, that's kind of like, someone explain the relationship of the Mario verse to me, because I think it's a little weird. Just saying.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say weird. It's modern. It's very modern.
Yeah. Well, in that, I honestly have a big problem with people expecting there to be romantic subplot in games. And I just want to see, I want to see people who are really close, really tight friends without other people fucking shipping them. And no. I don't have a problem with people shipping. Okay? It's going to happen. I'm fine with it. But I would still like for the shippers out there to accept that some people would like a canonical response that does not involve two characters fucking. They could be romantic friendships, all of that. I just don't want the fucking involved.
Sorry, the instant you said shipping, I was like, the Shepard or the romance between Shepard and Jack is very interesting.
Oh, did you do that one?
I've watched all the YouTubes, and I'm like, that's a very interesting relationship in that game. I mean, yes, it's romantic, but it's also kind of like, it's a very interesting depiction of like, it's not like, you get the sense that relationship is really about the Nookie.
Yeah.
More than anything.
She's angry and likes to fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very interesting to see that depicted in games. Like, they just want to hook up.
But it does get serious.
It does, depending on how you go with it, too.
But also, she kind of grows up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do get weirded out by the dating Tally thing, because I always think of her as the little sister type.
Mm-hmm.
And no.
Bobby Blackwolf in our chat room over at live.vognetwork.com. Bobby Blackwolf says there is no romantic subplot in Flappy Vog.
Hallelujah.
Except for the love affair with the podcaster's face and the wall.
Yeah.
S2100 Matt asks, are Mario and Peach even officially a couple?
I don't think so.
Awesome Unicorn in our chat room he's actually there and says, it was a tough question for on the spot, so I'll accept any relationships. Mario's just in it for the cakes.
Yeah. I honestly, I've never once seen a romantic relationship at all between Mario and Peach. I never saw it happen. I think he is a loyal servant deciding to relocate from, his beloved somewhere in New York-ish place and living in the romantic, fantastical Mushroom Kingdom where he actually gets to do a really important job instead of pull stuck shit out of people's pipes.
Loki, any relationships that you can think of that are strange in games?
No.
It's fair. It's a tough question. It's not, you got to be a little more prepared for that one, but that's a really good question. I'd be curious if we get like follow-up emails with that. I'm curious what some of your favorites are. One more email you said?
Oh yeah, there was one more. By the way, Shepherd Garrus. All the way.
That's not dysfunctional.
No, theirs is hot. Okay. Hola, this is your friendly neighborhood Mexican, Act Deft.
Hola.
I've had this question in my head since the Fugle question for February 2nd, Bull Night. And I thought I would share it with you. A lot of gamers and geeks don't like sports, whether they legitimately hate them or just don't give a puck. Haha. But we all have a favorite sports video game. I hate X-Sport, but I love game about X-Sport. So why is that? Why do people sometimes diss on sports, but at the same time they love games like NBA Jam, Blades of Steel, and Mario sports games, etc.? I could even include stuff like Wii Sports and such that resemble traditional sports a bit more. Well, that's all for now. Hopefully you're having a great night like always. See ya, Deft as Cabron.
Sometimes it's not so much the sport, but maybe the sport culture.
Yes, it is totally the sport culture. Well, for me, it's like, you know how I get about when people hype movies, and it just makes me not want to see them? I'm the same way about sports, because the more I hear people just like,
I don't, and to be honest,
I just can't deal with it.
I don't dislike a lot of sports. I'm just kind of apathetic about a lot of them. But yeah, there's some sports video games I enjoy. But to be fair, and to be complete, I've been to some basketball games. I mean, we do have a basketball team here in Sacramento. It's the only professional sports team we have, and it's they've gone 10 ways to Sunday to make sure they're going to keep them here for better or for worse. It's a very controversial thing here, but I'm not going to get into it. But I've been to a few Kings games, and I've had a good time.
I have a problem.
I've enjoyed myself.
With something Ragenator just said.
What?
Mario gets a bum rap. He saves Peach's ass, God only knows how many times.
Oh, no.
Yet he gets nowhere with her, not even a kiss.
Uh-oh.
What does she owe him? She owes him nothing. She thanks him, yes, and gives him a fucking place to live. Just because a guy does something nice for a woman does not mean she has to put out. Fuck you.
She does give him flowers.
Okay, she gave him something. But it doesn't mean that anytime a guy does something nice for a woman that she has to put out. No, she doesn't. She only has to put out if she wants to put out. The end.
Well, now, okay, to be fair, though, in his defense, he didn't say, why don't they ever have sex? Just a little kiss. We'll have a little kiss on the cheek.
No, she doesn't owe him any of that. She does not owe him a damn thing.
All right.
That is what's wrong with guys.
Not all guys.
Not all guys. You're cool.
Loki's okay, too.
I guess. Loki, I think you're cool.
Loki, did you want to say anything on the sports game email?
No.
Fair enough. Then let's get to the FUs of the week. I don't know. Dark Soccer started a little early over there.
I hate the term friend zone because it just makes it look like being friends is bad. Being friends is great.
I like having
Unless
friends.
all you're interested in is fucking someone, and then that's not a friendship.
You know what? I love having women as just friends. There's nothing wrong with that.
I love having everybody as just friends except for my husband. And I love my husband.
Let's get to the FUs of the week.
Oh, this is bad. Here is justice. Here is punishment. This is fucked up.
Fuck you to the patriarchy. If you are for equality, you are for feminism. That's why we need it. Because of people saying that Pete should put out. She doesn't have to put out. She doesn't have to give a kiss. She doesn't have to do anything. She is a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Well, if she's that strong,
Hey, she was a main character in Mario 2.
why does she keep getting kidnapped by Bowser? I mean, surely she would have set a trap. A strong woman would have set a trap for Bowser at this point.
Okay, she's moderately independent, but she doesn't lift weights because she was raised in privilege. She's a privileged white girl. So she doesn't think anything bad will ever happen to her until it happens to her. What? And then
Does Princess Peach have an Instagram?
Probably. And wears glasses in her spare time. She's a privileged white girl. And she has to rely on poor Mario with his weight problem. I can't do this with a straight face. Just because he doesn't fit the standard of aesthetics for guys does not make him any less valuable as a human being. When he lands on someone, he lands on them.
Loki, what's your FU of the week?
FU, the thing's breaking. Like, my laptop. And then, it's even better. So I decided to, play some games during Josh's nap. And my chair breaks. Oh my god.
You're not having a lot of luck, are you?
We'll get you some duct tape. By the way,
the bolt's breaking out of it.
Alan just said something awesome.
In chat?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Princess Peach shows up to her security detail 10 minutes late holding a Starbucks. That's why she always gets kidnapped.
All right, look. My FU of the week goes to my screwed up sleep schedule. FU to screwing up my sleep schedule. Because you know what I really, really, really like? Sleep. Sleep, in fact, I would go so far to say, and I might piss Jamie off with this, but I don't care. Sleep might be better than tacos. Just saying.
No, I think sleep is better than tacos.
Okay, well, good.
But you know what's even better, though, is combine the two, have a taco, take a nap.
Fair enough.
Because then you go to bed with tacos in your stomach. And that's happy.
All right, just a couple more news stories for you guys. And then we're going to open the Skype line at 1-877-GAME-OLR or a username on Skype, Orange Lounge Radio. We'll also get Twitter topics and last-minute stories.
I'm in a feminist tizzy right now.
I
was actually angered.
All right, let's move on.
I have rage at Rageinator.
You know what? Let's talk about a strong woman in games. Loki?
Yes, Lightning. She is basically done now. The Lightning. They're saying Lightning Returns is the last part of the story for Lightning. However, they're saying that Lightning may come back as a guest character in other games. So, I don't know. They could get cliche, or they should get really cheesy with it, lightning strikes twice or something.
No, we're just gonna see her a bunch more in Final Fantasy 14.
As I say, they're doing the quest right now in 14 that has her in it. That's very strange.
I don't know why she would return in other games. I mean, I could see maybe 14. I guess they can do some fun stuff where they have guest characters and stuff from other games, but it doesn't really make sense for Lightning to be in other games. I guess then again, Sid is in all the games, so I don't know. Think of Lightning in all the games as a different person. I don't know.
That would be a little silly, though. I don't know. Her picture should just be hanging on the wall as a little cameo in the later games. I mean, you don't really see characters from one Final Fantasy appear in the other. I mean, even Sid, sure, okay, there's a dude named Sid, but they're all different. In fact, I believe the one in 13 was more of a villain than it's mixed. But, it's they're always different. So, anyhow.
There's always an airship. There's always a Sid. There's
but
always a crystal. I don't know.
There's always Moogles, at least in the later one. Moogles didn't start till 3, right? So.
Well, they'll just have her, guest star in all. Maybe she could be a summon or something, or they'll have her guest star in all the different thunder spells.
It would you would think that characters like Cloud would have been a little more iconic, but then again, they did dress Lightning up in a Cloud suit, so maybe that's the type of stuff we're looking for. DLC Lightning crap in later games, right? So
ActDef says Final Fantasy 13 too Lightning, too furious.
Don't give them ideas. All right. Well, sadly, our last story is a bit of a sad note tonight and gives us a chance to reminisce, though, about some very classic PC and Sega CD and CD-based games. I don't know if you ever played a game called...
not Microcosm, is it?
No. This is
Okay.
actually a clip from Sewer Shark.
Oh.
And full motion games were like a big thing, and especially in the early '90s, like the CD-ROM games. Ken Melville was one of the guys to thank for a lot of that. Unfortunately, he passed away this week at age 65. He produced Sewer Shark, and he also created other full motion video games like Make My Video NXS and Make My Video Crisscross. Excellent.
You know what? I have both of those games.
Also, and probably most infamously, Ken Melville helped create Night Trap, starring Dana Plato, which is a pretty epically remembered CD game. Even though it really wasn't very good, people still remember it just because, it was like chicks and horror movie and all that stuff. So, but yeah, there you go. So Ken Melville unfortunately passed away, but without him, we might not have some of the things we see. Sure, games can kind of render all this real time now, but I don't think we would have got there. We would have certainly never had the SimCity version with the SimCity Action News Report if it weren't for this. So for that, I'll be forever thankful. So some folks in chat also saying, SSJ100 Matt says, R.I.P. John Henson, Jim Henson's son. That also happened this week. That's very sad, too. Lots of... Sid Caesar had passed away this week, and
That made me so sad. And Shirley Temple.
But
Sid Caesar was like in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, and Silent Movie, and History of the World Part 1, and
I had thought
Grease.
I had thought Shirley Temple was already dead. Like, I felt horrible, but she disappeared from the public eye a long time ago. Like, I think she came to win Oscars as I don't know, but then she became a diplomat of sorts, right? Wasn't she like a ambassador or something at some point? She's not really in the public eye like she used to be. So,
Well,
sorry.
You know what? When I was probably about 13, I read her autobiography, which was, oh my God, she went through some shit.
Oh, I bet.
But if anyone can find her autobiography, though, it's definitely worth a read. Her life was just so interesting.
Yeah.
So
excellent. All right, we are going to open up the Skype line right now. 1-877-GAME-OLR, or our username on Skype is Orange Lounge Radio. If you'd like to give the show a call and interact with us, participate, you can do that right now. Once again, that's 1-877-GAME-OLR, or our username on Skype, Orange Lounge Radio. The Skype line is now open. I'm going to go around for some last-minute stories, though. First, Loki. I don't know. Do you have any last-minute stories tonight, Loki?
No.
No?
I do not. Sorry.
Damn.
No, I don't.
All right, fine, fair enough. I also want to look and see if there's any Twitter topics, but we'll see here.
okay,
Oh.
the book, by the way, is called Child Star.
There you go, Child Star.
By
Well,
Shirley Temple Black.
that is what Shirley Temple was a child star. But we're gonna go to the Skype line right now. Hi, you're on Orange Lounge Radio. Who's this?
It's Ronma, and will you tell a brother next time you turn the cam on so I can have mine on too?
Sorry. Oh, there you go. Oh, we're on the cam tonight. Yay! How you doing?
Good. As you can see, I just got back from Katsucon 20.
You're wearing your Vogue shirt.
What did you get me?
Love it. Great.
I got you a lot of Ronma would have cosplay pictures.
Yay! Did you take me any Homestucks?
I got a couple.
Yay!
There you go. They didn't turn the pool gray this year, did they?
No, but let's just say the hotel and the convention were gunning more at professional photographers than anything else.
Really?
Yes. If it looked like you had more attachments on your SLR, like big lights and this and that, they will tell you to leave the area because they assume that you're a professional photographer. A friend of mine had an assistant with him, and they told him, you can't have your assistant, you're a professional photographer.
Interesting.
It boiled down to, as long as it's attached to your camera, it's fair game.
Huh. I went to Katsucon a few years ago. I had a good time.
Yeah, but they're no longer in that area. We're in a different area.
Okay.
The hotel convention center is bigger, and it's all about the gazebo.
I've heard about the gazebo.
Oh, I've seen the memes about the gazebo.
I'm in California, for fuck's sake, and I've heard about the Katsucon gazebo, so I'm just saying.
That's because you have West Coast cosplayers going to Katsucon.
There you go. Fair enough. I was going to say this. There was all those stormy storms in the Northeast, and I was reading that the con, they were going to say con is happening no matter what, but I imagine that led to some hilarious fuckery right there.
Yes, because they made an announcement that even though if you can't make it to Katsucon, you are not getting a refund. The salt was strong on that.
Ooh, ouch. I can only imagine on that. Yikes. So what gaming stuff did they have at Katsucon? Did they still have a game room down there? I know.
Yes, there was 2 pumping up machines in a DDR third mix.
Nice. Third
Ooh,
mix. I
third
fucking
mix.
love third mix.
Vivid mode.
Erotic songs.
Yeah, and I've never heard of this game. I don't know if you guys reviewed it, but it's a rhythm game by Sega. It's 2 players, and it's 5 lines of colored lights, and you're bouncing lights back and forth. You start
Oh.
1, then 3, then 5.
I actually didn't know that was a Sega game. Is it? But it looks like it's like a giant table, like air hockey looking thing, right?
Yep.
There was one of those at Arcade Infinity before it closed down.
I have video footage of that.
Nice. Yeah, that game looked interesting. I think I did play it once. You know, I didn't talk about this on the show the week that Shane was here, but we had gone to Golfland, the place where video games go to die,
Yeah.
and we played a Pac-Man air hockey machine.
What?
Well, yeah, it was kind of like normal air hockey, but like at random parts, all these little pucks would just fly onto the table. Like you'd have your normal puck, like air hockey, but then all of a sudden, like 20 small pucks would fly on the table. Like that was the whole little trick, and they were worth like half a point, whereas the big pucks were worth like 5 points. This is random tangent, but you talking about the big table games in the arcade kind of made me think of that. So.
That's quite all right.
All right, so we're going to hear the full Katsucon wrap-up, I imagine, this week on Anime Jam Session?
Yes, you will. And we'll have 2 of our cosplay guests on the show, Avalon Cosplay and Seraphita Cosplay. Because Seraphita had a booth going, selling patches and a lot of cool stuff, and it was pretty fun, especially since somebody cosplayed the gazebo.
That's good. Oh, I have to ask you.
That's like when somebody cosplayed the carpet at Dragon Con.
Did you get pictures of Kayla?
Yes, I got a couple.
Because I went in to see her Lilith costume.
I got one of her Lilith costumes.
Yes! Awesome.
Yay. All right, well, Rama, anything else before we let you go?
I will say this much. When it comes to gaming cosplay at this convention, the most popular gaming cosplay was Danganronpa.
Oh, yeah. That's not surprising.
Then Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
You
That's
hear
not
that the
surprising
sequel's coming out this year as well,
Huh?
right?
Loki said the sequel's coming out this year.
I haven't played the game, but I've watched the anime, and holy shit, what a mindfuck.
yeah. The first one just came out, I think, last week, and then the sequel, I think, is already announced for. Gosh, I want to say it's this summer.
Did you hear what Loki said?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
either. By the way, I'm working on something for you.
Ooh.
A Ranma troll.
Oh, no.
Yep. You're getting a Ranma troll.
Sweet.
All right, well, Rama, I'm going to let you go to try and get some more calls, but have a good one, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Hey, no problem. You too.
All right, take care. Bye.
Oh, bye.
All right, 1-877-GAME-OLR, our username on Skype, Orange Lounge Radio if you want to give us a call.
See, I always thought that Ranchan should cosplay the Ranma troll out of irony. That would be hilarious.
All right, I'm going to try to pull up the OLR Twitter here. A lot of activity on Twitter around Flappy Vog. That's pretty exciting to see.
Yay.
Let's see. Dark Tetsuya says, I'm trying to start an OL army for Monster Hunter 3. God damn it, I forgot. Sorry, guys. I'm routing Skype a different way, so I have to route it like through the mixing board. A little bit of a faux pas there. I'll go back to Dark Tetsuya's tweet in a minute, but we are getting another call, so let's get to it. Hi, you're on Orange Lounge Radio. Who's this?
Hey there, guys. It's Nemesis47. I'm from the chat. How you guys doing today?
Hey, good.
Hello.
Nemesis47. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, guys. I'm just getting ready for a convention here in a couple of weeks as well, just like Rama said earlier.
Where's here?
In Colorado. He was in out east. I'm over here out in the Rocky Mountains west kind of thing.
I would bet Jason, our good buddy VX Jason XV, who just said goodbyes on the show last week for now. He lives in Colorado. Usually, I mean, he's been living in San Francisco for the past couple months. But he's usually in Colorado. He'll probably be there, I would bet. If it's
I guess he would, though. We have a lot of guests this year. This is actually my first convention I'm going to be staffing for this year.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
yeah.
Yep. I'm mainly just the guy that's going to be doing like the photo shoots. I've actually got all the photo shoots already done with the posters and everything. I just We just gotta get them hung up around the con, and there we go. It's the Anime Land Wasabi convention I'm doing in a couple weeks.
Sounds like fun.
Yep.
So, are you trying to plug the convention here? Is there something else on your mind tonight?
There's that's one thing, and plus the whole thing with the Sega Genesis thing. Guys, my apologies about that. I was like, I had a brain fart at work earlier and stuff. So
that's fine. And to be fair, because the Sega Genesis did come out, I want to say it was a year or two before the Super Nintendo, there was a little bit of overlap, especially in the late NES period, kind of overlapped with the beginnings of the Sega Genesis. And I seem to remember, Darkstalker, correct me if I'm wrong, or Loki, Sonic the Hedgehog was a Genesis game, but then they backported it to the Master System because it was kind of like the 8 bits was still going on, or was that one of those like Chinese hacks?
No. They there's actually quite a number of Genesis games that were sort of back engineered for the Master System because of countries where the Master System was the big thing. Like for example, Brazil.
Oh, right.
Brazil has a massive Master System.
And they had a huge Genesis following.
No, but Master System was really big.
Yeah. I've heard that
even
too.
to today.
Yeah.
So there's lots of games that you'll find those older versions. I mean, I think the Sonic one had been released. Don't quote me yet, but it was really there're just some of those countries where the Master System was huge. So they took their most popular titles from Genesis because the Genesis ones weren't selling. The Master System ones were. They were milking the money where they could.
Interesting. Well, there you go. I learned something. So don't feel too bad about the answer.
I know. I actually still got my Genesis still to this day. I had that thing since I was a little kid.
Nice. I still have my Super Nintendo hooked up. I can play Super Metroid in its purest form.
I tripped over a Super Nintendo today. We have 3 of them in the house.
I think you should always have a classic console hooked up for good measure.
Of course. Have you guys ever heard of a game called Double Switch on the Sega CD?
Yes, I have it.
I have it too. Yeah, it has late Corey Haim in the game.
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. It was not one of my favorite games, though. If I was going to sit down and play a Sega CD game that I would actually say was among my favorites, it'd probably just be Sonic CD.
Oh yeah. Sonic CD. You can never go wrong with Sonic CD. Another thing about Double Switch, Arlie Ermey's in the game. You know the Gunnery Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket? He's in the game.
Yeah, that's right. That had actually a pretty decent cast, didn't it?
Yeah, he played Lyle the Handyman in the game. So, at first I was like, that doesn't look like, I didn't know who it was. After they said it was Arlie Ermey, and I pretty much put the voices 2 and 2 together, and, hey, matches, he, yeah, it swears a lot. The GI.
All right, well, Nemesis 47, enjoy the classic gaming on your classic consoles, and thanks for calling us tonight, all right?
No problem, man. That's good to join you guys.
All right, take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 1-877-GAME-OLR or username. I wish I could disable the sounds. I'm actually using Skype on the iPad, so I wish I could disable the sounds. Maybe it's possible. I could disable all the sounds, but then I wouldn't be able to hear the callers, and that would be a bad thing. 1-877-GAME-OLR. Username on Skype is Orange Lounge Radio. Before we took that call, I was talking about a tweet that Dark Tetsuya had sent us saying, I'm trying to start an OL army for Monster Hunter 3 on Wii U. By the way, that's how you do online on Wii U. I gotta be honest, Dark Tetsuya, I wasn't able to get into Monster Hunter. That's my honest answer on that. But, hey, for those of you that are enjoying it, I definitely would support an OL army being created for that. But we do have another call on the line, so let's get to it. Hi, you're on Orange Lounge Radio. Who's this?
Hey, it's Marissa.
Marissa! Oh, my gosh. We haven't heard from you in forever, Marissa. How you doing?
I wonder how you need
It's
to call
been
right
too
now.
long. I feel like an old lady, though, trying to figure out this Skype thing. I thought this was only for the kids doing the porns thing.
No, that would be Snapchat.
Yeah, that's Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
That's for the porn things. What's on your mind, Marissa?
I'm just calling to say hello and check in. Oh, and fuck the new Thief game. But I guess, yeah, that would probably be it.
Oh, yeah. Is that, coming out finally?
I know! They put so much into it. They have so much on the line at Eidos Montreal, and it's coming out next week, and nobody really seems to know or give a shit.
Oh, 2 weeks, says Loki.
The
Yeah.
25th.
Wow, they've got a great marketing push going on that one. That's sure to do well. They must have a lot of faith in it.
And it's funny because of my my interest, the voice acting is particularly bad. I mean, everybody was outraged that they got rid of Stephen Russell, who's just brilliant, but I've been listening to it in general, and the direction itself is just, it's really bad. But there are laws with regard to casting and doing projects in Canada, and that everyone suspects that it was that they did that to keep funding.
Oh,
local
like
actors
Canadian
by
content,
that. Yeah.
Canadian content laws or something. Oh, that's an interesting
Damn
theory.
Canucks.
Yeah. Damn it, Canada! You do so many things right, but sometimes you get it wrong.
Damn it, Canada! You gave us Rush, but you also gave us Bieber.
I hate Justin Bieber too, but to be fair, we've exported a lot of shit to them too.
That is true. That is true. Fair's fair. I mean, they get like Miley Cyrus. So.
Although, thanks to a friend of mine, I actually did hear about a Canadian band that I've started liking a lot called Stars.
Okay.
They're really good.
Well, rock on.
Okay, I will.
I like Alanis Morissette. She's cool.
You and your Alanis shirt right now.
They import a lot of comedians too. We get all our great comedians.
That is true. You get a lot of comedians from Canada. I feel like it's like Canada History 101
As
tonight.
opposed to Canadians from Alaska? Or Canadians from Norway?
Yeah. I know. I remember when I was a little girl, actually, I had a friend that was from Peachland, and I was trying to explain Canadian bacon to her, and I had this exact reply. You mean ham? That was...
Although, isn't that also just what they call bacon in England?
You're not supposed to talk about bacon, Jamie.
You know what? I've seen you eat bacon.
See, I'm allowed to be a heathen. Okay,
it's not going to go.
Shit, but
it's not going to go away if you pretend it doesn't exist.
For the record, I had turkey bacon today, so I'm still being a good Jew.
Right.
Of course, there was cheese with it.
So, Marissa, I know you're very disappointed about the new Thief, but is there any games you've been checking out lately?
Otherwise, I haven't had a chance to look into a lot of them. I've had the chance to record and rehearse in various studios with some interesting video game scripts. Mm-hmm. But some of them haven't come out yet, so you can't talk about them. And some of them was an interesting little tank commander bit I sent you. I don't know what it's from, but they had me rehearse this thing about, giant eyeballs are attacking the city. And
that sounds like something out of Earth Defense Force or something. Who knows? So, but yeah, Marissa,
I can only hope.
Yeah, Marissa, I know you haven't been on the show in a while, but it seems like since the last time you were here, you've been really getting into this studying voice acting and kind of doing all that. I know you sent me some of the demo reels that you did, and it was great. Like, I thought I was actually listening to like commercials on FM radio. It was cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's shit that you skip over.
Well, you can't when you're in the car. You're kind of held and waiting for the next Lady Gaga song to come on. You're kind of held hostage. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's actually what I've wanted to do my whole life, and I decided to go for it.
That's awesome. And, see, I always talk about.
If you like the sexy sax, though, that's important. If you like the sexy sax bit.
I always talk about wanting, like, I would love to be a voice actor in a video game just once in my life. Like, that would be, like, my dream. But you're, like, actually going and doing it. But you know what? I do have Flappy Vogue. So I did get Flappy Vogue. So I did get my game that I'm a voice actor in. So there you go.
Well, Rob Paulson, when he hosts his podcast, he sometimes brings it up north. So I suggest everyone to check that out, Talkin' Tins. And he brings Maurice LaMarche sometimes, and they do Pinky and the Brain live, and they've all done video games as well. And it's awesome. A lot of fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, you want to give us your best voiceover sign out for the night before we let you go? Not to put you on the spot or anything.
On the spot. Good night, everybody.
Perfect.
I don't always do that, but it's interesting how it's really incestuous when you go from this to, hi, how have you been? So, that's a lot of anime work. You do a lot of that. So,
oh my God,
have fun with that helium.
I accidentally did that with my answering machine message once. I was trying to be professional. And, you don't get your reception isn't very good. So I was trying to be, hey, this is Marissa. I hope to hear from you soon. But this is how it turned out. Hey, it's Marissa. I'd love to hear from you. I didn't realize until my doctor called me one day. She just left a message, and she said this exactly. She said, Marissa, what a suggestive-sounding answering machine you have.
Well, I think there's a lot of our listeners that would like to see you operating a 900 number or something along those lines. So.
Maybe I can get that gig. Call us now.
All right.
Pick up the phone.
All right. Well, Marissa, when you're a super popular voice actress touring the country at anime cons up and down the coast, I'm going to say she started here. We made her.
No,
we
her
made
first
her.
role on Vogue.
I don't know if some of the bits I've done on your show I want to be known for.
No. You know, I know what your first fun voice was on Orange Lounge Radio. Was Usus Braziers.
Yes. I'm going to dig up those shows. You better watch out. All right.
Actually, I'm just trying to get started, but I know lots of people are doing indie projects. And that's where a lot of people cut their chops. And if anybody's interested, I'm always happy to do indie projects.
Awesome. All right. Well, how can people get a hold of you?
I have that SoundCloud you can link to later, but my name is Marissa Mizell, so Meizel, and I can always send out demos that way, or you can contact me on where the old people are on Facebook.
Awesome. And if you email the show, we'll get you in touch with her too. We'll forward it on
As long
over.
as we still have that email address.
Yes. All right, Marissa, I'm going to let you go to try and squeeze in one more call, but thanks so much for the call. It's so good to hear from you. Miss your face.
One time, I'll
I
have to
miss the
come
rest
soon
of her.
and we can have giggle time.
What's that?
I'll have to come up soon, and we can have Rob and Marissa's giggle time.
Yes, I cannot wait. All right. Bye.
Bye.
I always love hearing from Marissa. She is great. All right. I can probably squeeze in one more call if somebody wants to try to get through. 1-877-GAME-OLR or username on Skype, Orange Lounge Radio. Trying to get to some more tweets beyond that. SH100 Matt tweets us, old story, but the Kickstarter hack reminded me of it. Best and worst online retailers' password safeguards. And he links us to this article from Ars Technica. I don't believe I read this, but apparently the study says, the headline on the site is this, Apple.com does more to protect your passwords. The study of the top 100 sites find. I guess some sites will allow you to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a password. Apple.com was the only site to receive a perfect score of 100 based on 24 criteria. Amazingly, 55% of the sites allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and password. Sites like Toys R Us, 1-800-Flowers, and J. Crew sent passwords as plain text in emails. Interesting. So, Apple got a 100. Microsoft and Chegg, C-H-Egg, after that.
No, Chegg is a book rental for school book rentals. And if you rent from them, they actually plant a tree.
They were right behind that with a score of 65. And then I'm trying, of course, I want to see who's on the bottom. MLB. The Major League Baseball website, negative 75 was their score. Kind of surprised at some of these in the bottom. Hulu, negative 45. Disney Store, negative 45. Interesting story there on arstechnica.com. Thanks for that, SJ100 Matt. And don't use shitty passwords, people. Don't use shitty passwords.
And don't use the same ones for your financial institutions.
Never have your email password used anywhere else. Same thing with your banking passwords. At least those two should be unique and separate. For real. All right. Anyhow, let's see. Going on, we have another tweet from SHO100 Matt. Someone made a Space Jam mod for NBA 2K14. Now you can play with the Toon Squad or Monstars from the movie. That's it. We've accomplished all we need to in gaming. That's it. Done. Video games are over, everybody. Pack it up. Go home. They put Space Jam in NBA 2K14. Wait, somebody made that game good?
NBA 2K14 was apparently pretty good.
But I thought it got really. I thought it got like hazed and stuff in the review.
That's NBA Live 14.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, Rob. I don't know how to play either.
Sorry.
No one's making any mods for that.
And Strudels89 it was a tweet to me as well, but this is worthy of mention on the show for Dark Sakura. OMG, I found a pink berry. It's been so long, I missed it. You would think this show is sponsored by that company, but sadly, nope, no free yogurt here. So, well, it doesn't appear that anybody else is calling in, so I guess we're going to go ahead and close up ye old Skype line, which means if we don't have last-minute stories...
I have one last-minute story.
Oh, you got one. All right. Well, yes. Loki, what'd you get?
It's a kind of a little Easter egg for Disney Infinity. Apparently, once you've collected all of the characters, say if you buy every single one of them, you will unlock a lightsaber, like an actual lightsaber in the game as a weapon. Of course, no no one has figured this out yet. Well, except for one person who got some of the toys early that haven't been released yet. But that's what's going to happen when you do collect all of them, if you happen to pay for all of those different characters.
All right. Bobby Blackwolf has just sent me a update via private message worthy of last-minute story. Per Bobby Blackwolf, over 1,300 people have died in Flappy Vogue during OLR. So I don't know if that means... Place. What? Does that mean 1,300 plays, or like 1,300 unique people have played the game in 3 hours? I don't think we have that kind of those kind of numbers at Vogue. But I would imagine that's 1,300 plays. That's still pretty impressive. I imagine a lot of you guys are just kind of zoning out listening to the show and playing Flappy Vogue, and that's like totally cool if that's the case. So Blackwolf says 1,300 plays. Well, that's still impressive. So, wow. God, how many times has my head crashed into a wall in the past 3 hours? That's a little disturbing.
Mine hasn't at all yet. But we're doing my lines.
But you're going to be in the first DLC.
I could give people a sample.
Okay. Give them one sample. Don't ruin it. Give them one sample.
Yarp.
All right. That is about going to do it for another episode of Orange Lounge Radio. Hey, I want to thank you guys for listening to the show, having fun with us, whether it be live or podcast. I really appreciate your support of the show. All we ask here, we do ask it every week. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend or 2 or 5 about the show. Help spread the word. That's all we got. We also could really use some nice reviews. 5-star reviews on iTunes or Stitcher Radio go a very, very long way in helping to promote the show. And we thank you very, very much for all the nice words you guys have to say. It is about that time where we go around and get everybody's final thought. Loki, hope to see you back soon, but I understand you got to do what you got to do there at home, so take care of yourself and say hi to Nelly. Do you have any final thoughts for us tonight?
Yes, I'm in 3rd place on Flappy Vogue.
Are you really? What's your score?
42, I think. I don't know.
That's pretty good. My final thought tonight is I want to go to Disneyland, and
I want to go for my birthday.
I kind of had an offer to go next week.
Jeez.
I might, but it would be literally leave Friday to go Saturday to drive back Sunday in time for the show, which will probably kill me, but But do you know what's on Saturday? Like why I really got to go? Dapper Days.
Bring me back something Duffy.
Of course. How could I not? How could I not? All right. And lastly but not leastly, Dark Soccer, your final thought tonight.
I start my new schedule at the Land of Cubicles and Tech, LOKAT. So I'm happy that I can actually stay up till a normal time tonight. Huzzah! That's it.
All right. That's it. We're done. We're out of here. We'll be back to do it all again next week, though. Thank you guys for staying with us and listening.
Oh, wait. Marissa says we have to go to Knott's to see the Billies.
Is that where they moved?
That's where they are.
Get out.
I've never been there either.
I thought they have really good fried chicken. Just for the record. But I thought the Billies were like a part of Disney. I thought Disney owned them.
There's like a bunch of Billies.
Wow.
And they do performances at various places. And I love the Billies.
Well done to Knott's. Well done on them. All right. We're out of here. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you next time here on Orange Lounge Radio. Good night.
You've been listening to Orange Lounge Radio. Orange Lounge Radio is a production of OLR Studios. To join us for a live show, tune into VogNetwork.com Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The views and opinions expressed in this program do not necessarily reflect those of the staff of Orange Lounge Radio or Vog Network, but you know they were all still true. See you next week.